You know, what is serenity and how do you achieve it? I don't know. It's always been kind of elusive for me. But recently, let me make sure that this is muted. Yeah, there it is. But recently, I've been pretty serene. You know, I started this crypto journey back in early January, and there's been a lot of moments of non-serenity, if you know what I mean. You've been there, right? You've been there. It creates a lot of angst figuring this shit out. Because when you start, we what? We don't know shit. And that's kind of the common theme of this channel. And my commitment to you has always been documenting my journey of not knowing shit and trying to figure it out, having guests on who can teach us, having, talking about where I may have went wrong, success stories, all of that. But ultimately, lately, I've been pretty serene, kind of have my portfolio kid tested, uncle approved, my Blockfolio fingers having a lot of fun, watching along. But I want to tell you about the guy who's joining me today, David Weiss. And David, I'm going to kind of, I don't know if you're going to like what I'm going to say or not, but I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Okay. Everyone, do you remember back when you were young and you were just kind of simple-minded, just kind of like, ho-de-do-de-do-de-do, I'm growing up. And then all of a sudden there's that dude across the street that's like, psst, come over here. Come here. I want to show you something. And he shows you your very first Playboy. First time you ever see a naked woman is right there. And this dude, let's call him David Weiss. Let's say that David is the one that you show. And then, you're going through life a little more, ho-de-do-de-do. And then it's like, psst, hey, come over here. Come over here. Hey, man, have a beer with me. And it's your first time you ever took a nice cold beer. And you're like, wow, I kind of like that. And you're going along. And I'm not saying this is all you, David. I'm just saying, I'm just teeing up something here. And then you're going along, and then you have that guy who, let me shut that off, spam risk. You have that guy who says, come here, try this, Now, that's never worked for me, but there's one guy who said, hey, see that white line? Do it. Those people in our life. Well, I'm old now. I'm 56, so those days are kind of in the rearview mirror. Enter crypto. And, you're a newbie and you're just like a sponge. And then you have somebody coming in and saying, psst, what you need is a self-directed IRA LLC. You won't have to pay taxes. And you're like, what? What? And now you're out of sorts because you don't have a self-directed IRA LLC. So you go figure that shit out, right? And you get one and you're like, yes, that was kind of painful. It was a pain in the ass, but I have it now and I get it. And now I have liquidated all of my 401ks and IRAs. I'm controlling the checkbook. I'm deploying my funds into cryptocurrency and I'm generating fantastic gains. So you're like, gosh, he made me uncomfortable, but then all of a sudden you're going along, walking along, and you hear, psst, what you need is a 575E. Yeah, an unincorporated nonprofit. Yeah. And I'm like, what the hell is that? And he's like, well, you just won't have to pay taxes. And I'm like, okay, well, I kind of like when he told me to look at that first Playboy, I kind of liked it, when he first.
So we'll say that some of these things are me. Some of these things are me. It's like the guy, the firing squad where one guy doesn't have the bullet. So we're not going to tell him which one it is.
Yes, I'm not done. And so then he's like, hey, psst, hey, you need to like literally now. You need to liquidate all of your Bitcoin and buy Pirate Chain. Like, did you? Yeah, I did. I'm like, fuck. Okay. And we go do that. And then we launch a pirate show together. And that turned out pretty well. See, there's a trend here, right? Which is every freaking time I end up getting out of sorts and have to figure something out again, it usually works out for the better. So David, I'm just telling you, you make me uncomfortable a lot.
Crypto. Go ahead.
And then you dropped on me like a couple of weeks ago the fact that you're a Hexican, and I'm like, what's a Hexican? And then you're like, all I can tell you is I was in on the ground floor before it was even a thing. And then he showed me a little screenshot of, his holdings and what it is now. And I'm like, God, I wish I was a Hexican. Why didn't I follow his lead? Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? He made me uncomfortable again, like within this last weekend, and told me that there was going to be this thing called the PulseChain airdrop of a lifetime, to where you're going to sacrifice some of your coins. No freaking idea what that is. And you should buy some Hex first. Okay, I'll figure out how to do that. And it's going to be one of these things to where it's once in a lifetime. You can be a Pulsean too, not a Hexican, a Pulsean. So I'm like, okay, tell me about it. He starts telling me about it. Inevitably, his one-liner is, just buy it and wait. And it doesn't work for me too well, people. If you can't tell by now, I got to figure shit out. So we started going back and forth, and I reached out to a guy. His name is Coffee. Let me tell you, it is, Crypto Coffee. I scheduled him for tomorrow night. We're gonna do a video here in this stream of what, just to tee it up. But that is a long ass introduction to say the guy that I have on right now, David Weiss, legend, is that guy who has always he always does things first and then tells me about it. And when I listen to him and just do it, it ends up working out and being really profitable. So no promises here, but we're going to talk out loud about Hex and about PulseChain. We may even have a flyby guest from PulseChain or that community who knows a lot more than we do. But that's a tee up. David, can you please tell me where I'm wrong? You're that guy.
There's so much to unwrap right there. So first, I want to say a couple things. I'm right with you. We are in the realm of crypto. We are rank amateurs. We are amateurs, but compared to somebody that doesn't know about crypto, we are experts. But we're really amateurs in the crypto world. We're at the bottom. We're at the bottom of the guys that just know how to do something. Don't know. Sometimes we don't know why we're doing it. And that's another thing. Is my car is awesome. I could drive to friggin' Florida, come visit you. I probably will this winter. All
yes,
right?
will.
I have no idea how that freaking car works. It works.
Right.
I know that I put fuel in it. I don't know the whole deal. I know that it's lighting the fuel on fire. At least I think that's what they tell us that it does. But it works, and I use it, and I benefit from it. So there are people that have, like Robbie Davidson. He's the one that told me about Hex. He told me all about it. I understood 10 to 20% of it.
Okay.
And I just like, you know what? I'm just going to do it.
And okay.
It works out great. So as we go along these things, now when somebody tells me something, I understand like 50% of what they're saying.
Okay.
When Richard Hart talks, I understand maybe 6% of what he's saying.
Right.
But I actually, I'm exaggerating there. I'm learning more and more about it. But so wait, the other thing I wanted to say was, I had two good points I wanted to bring out. Oh yeah. And then well, maybe this wasn't the point, but everything we're going to say today, there is great risk. Okay.
Yep.
I don't think there's a risk of losing everything, but let's just say there's a risk of losing everything. But with great rewards comes great risk. The possibilities of what could happen here. So you know how everyone's always looking for that coin where you can spend $1,000 or $500 or even $100 and buy millions of them, 0.0000, you're looking for that coin that, like Dogecoin, if you put $1,000 in Dogecoin, what was it, like half a year ago, you'd be a multimillionaire.
Wow.
Yeah. So everyone's looking for that one where, like if someone says, all right, I got $4,000, well, I can buy 1 ETH. I could buy 400 Pirate Chain or whatever the number is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or I can buy, 80,000 of something else. But there's so many of these little coins that are
Shit coins.
They're going to go nowhere. They're going to do nothing. Just like Dogecoin should have done nothing, but it had a cute dog on it. The power of a cute dog.
Yeah, of course.
Okay? So with that said, what's going to happen here? We're getting into this fork. So there's an Ethereum fork that's coming. Do you know what a fork is?
Well, let's first say, do you know what Ethereum is? Because this is a channel dedicated to newbies.
Very, very newbies. So there's everyone knows Bitcoin, and then there's Ethereum, which is another blockchain. And occasionally, years ago, Bitcoin forked. I had no idea what a fork is, and I still need a little more education on it. But it basically forks, and everything that you have that's on like everyone that had Bitcoin got Bitcoin Cash, and it was free. And I looked at it, I'm like, well, it's free, it's probably worthless. Okay, and I left it in there for a while, and I ignored it. And then one day I looked at it, wow, that's $800. And I took the $800 out. If I had left it in, it would be worth a lot more. The other thing is, the crypto market is like a roller coaster. If you don't like roller coasters, don't get into crypto.
Today is definitely one of those downward parts of the roller coaster.
I wouldn't know it if you didn't tell me, because I buy, I hold, I don't look.
Yeah.
Because this is what I've learned. Over the years, I've been doing, crypto in and out for years, and I've had a bunch of coins, and I've sold a bunch of coins, and I've made profits, and I've taken that profits and I've turned them into other things. Awesome. I look back, if I had kept all the crypto that I originally had, I'd be a multimillionaire.
Wow.
Everything I sold, even though I made money on some of it, most of it, if I just held on to it, it would be, but again, past results don't include future gains or whatever that saying is. And then the other thing is, we're going to talk about this. This to me looks like an opportunity of a lifetime. Like, this is something that I think is going to go down in history, and it could fail, or it could change
our lives,
the crypto world forever. Yeah, this could be like everyone's, oh, remember the Ethereum fork by Richard Hart? Because right now to do a lot of things on crypto, it costs you a fortune in gas. Somebody was telling me they wanted to send something somewhere, and the gas was $900.
Yep.
For those of you who don't know what gas is, you have to pay for the transaction. Right? So
you basically have to if you think of Ethereum blockchain as the highway, the toll road, you got to pay the toll to get on. So that on ramp is the gas fee, what you're going to pay, and it is just so stupid ridiculous to be able to send something on the Ethereum blockchain, because you pay up to $1,000 in gas for a transaction. It's just stupid.
Yeah. So Richard Hart, the guy who he's a super genius. That's probably the simplest way I can describe his crypto knowledge. He is doing this because he's making this new PulseChain, which is it's a fork of Ethereum, where everybody that has ERC20 tokens, which is Ethereum based tokens, will get a copy of whatever they have. You have 2 Ethereum, you get 2 Pulse Ethereum. If you have 2 Cardano, 200 Cardano, you get 200 Pulse Cardano. And the value of those
is Cardano ETH?
I believe it is.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So when this airdrop happens, it's going to be the biggest airdrop in crypto history. And the thing is, people are like, well, how can you do that? Well, they start off at 0. So you can give them as many as you want. But the question is this a better network that he's making? His gas fees at first are going to be 0. Then I think they're going to like a fraction of a penny. No guarantee on what they will be in the future, but he's fixing the problem of the broken gas.
Right.
And if he does it well, more and more people will go over there. So this is the opportunity to get some Well, you don't even have to do anything. I mean, if you have these Ethereum-based tokens, you're going to get them over there, and you can just watch them. Move them into another wallet or whatever, and they could go up in value. But there's ways to get more. We're going to talk about that, and it's kind of like you're getting into one of these fraction of a penny tokens with a name behind it already. It's the So something.
It's like if this alleged Satoshi came out and started a new fork on Bitcoin fork, and he had that, and he wasn't disappeared. He would have the credibility, and this Richard guy has that credibility. So
when Richard came out with Hex, and don't ask me to fully explain Hex. Hopefully your Hex guy comes here and he could explain it. It's just a better way to do what he does. He does it where you can keep your Hex liquid, or you can stake it out for years and get more interest on it. And when you stake it, you get a ton more. The longer you stake it for, the more you get. But everyone said it was a scam. Everyone said it's going to go to zero. Just like what the big banker said about Bitcoin at the beginning. Oh, it's $1. You don't buy it. It's $1. You're already getting ripped off. So it's highly successful. If you watch all the red that's out there in the last couple of days, Hex has been up. Hex has been a lot of green in there. So I think. How
did you get in on it so early?
Robbie Davidson told me about it. I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? And I threw some money in it. I was like, you know what? It's like my car. It works. I didn't understand it. Right. So I threw some fuel at it, and
we're at a point right now to where we're having that same conversation you had with him back then, and it worked out for you.
Yeah.
It's just we don't know how it works, but we know that it's new but proven. Yeah. So this Richard guy, he's proven. Yeah. So if you throw a little, and to all of us, that's relative. For me, a little might be $100. For someone else, it may be $10, just to use. But this is something I think we all want to throw at this, but we're not pitching this. Believe me.
Here's the other thing. That I think I just learned this today. I had an idea, but I wasn't sure, and I got to confirm today that all of your Ethereum-based tokens, Ethereum, whatever you have, will be mirrored unless it's on an exchange's wallet. Like if you have your Ethereum on Coinbase, you don't own your private keys. The matching tokens go to the private keys, and they will keep them, I believe.
Exactly.
So you need to, if you have your stuff on an exchange, you need
get them
to
off.
Get it off. Put it in your Exodus wallet that's on your computer. Anything where you have the private keys, your Treasure, your whatever the other one was, whatever wallet that you own the keys to, and then you have to do nothing. When the fork happens, you'll just get these tokens, and then you can move them into your MetaMask wallet or whatever.
All right. So what I think would be good right now, and it is bear with me, guys. It is only a 10-minute video, but I think that it will. And this gentleman, by the way, is going to be my guest tomorrow at 7 p.m. So I want to introduce you to him now. Let me share my screen, make sure the sound is good. Let me get over here, make sure that it's off mute. Now, this is how to get the PulseChain airdrop. So we're going to want to pay close attention here. There we go. Can you see him?
I can.
Okay. Let's just do this bad boy.
Here we're going to talk about how to get the PulseChain airdrop of a lifetime. So for all you moon boys out there that are wondering how to get this crypto airdrop that you might have heard about, it's called PulseChain. And we don't have a launch date on it yet, but there are some things you can know ahead of time to get familiar with the concepts. We're going to talk about it. It's actually not technically an airdrop. It's a fork of Ethereum, if we're being honest. But, everybody in crypto is all about the airdrops, and it's a term that is relatable. So we're going to talk about how to get the PulseChain airdrop. There's two main methods, but make sure you stick around till the end, because we're going to tell you a galaxy brain secret about how you can actually pump your favorite coin during this whole process. Let's get right into it, guys. So it's really, really simple. There's basically two ways that this thing is going to happen. The first way is very easy. You just hold any ERC20 coins in your wallet, right? So, but just by holding coins, when this PulseChain forks off of Ethereum, you're going to get a 1-for-1 copy of all those coins. Now, one thing to call out is it's more than likely that it's going to need to be a non-custodial wallet that holds your private keys that you're holding your coins in. Now, that means you need to get your coins off of centralized exchanges because that's not non-custodial. Okay, custodial means somebody else holds your keys. Non-custodial means you do. So more than likely, you're going to want to get MetaMask wallet. You can go to metamask.io if you don't have one already, or just make sure whatever Ethereum wallet that you're holding your coins in, make sure it supports having your own private keys and make sure it's not owned by a third party. Now, whenever this fork does occur, any coin that you had in your MetaMask wallet that's an ERC20 coin will simply just appear in your new PulseChain version of the wallet. Now remember, this is an ETH fork, right? So it's only an airdrop of any Ethereum-based tokens. If you have tokens on Binance Smart Chain or some other, Tron, I don't know why you would have coins over there, but those are not going to be copied, okay? Only Ethereum tokens. And if anybody didn't know, ERC20 just is another word for an Ethereum-based token or a token that lives on top of the Ethereum blockchain. So yeah, when you get the fork, it's just a 1-to-1 copy on whatever date that fork occurs. We don't know when that date's going to be yet, but you will just get a 1-to-1 copy. The answer to the next most obvious question is yes. If you have staked HEX out there, or if your tokens are locked in some other contract, all the contracts are being copied over, right? So you're still going to have access to those coins on those new contracts. Now, I can't say that for sure about every coin, but the big question is, well, do I have to have my HEX staked or liquid? And it's like either one, guys, either one will work fine. You don't have to unstake your HEX. If you have HEX staked for 5 years, then you're going to get a version of that HEX also staked for 5 years on the new PulseChain. Okay. So liquid HEX, staked HEX, doesn't matter. Really, it's really, really simple, guys. It couldn't get more dumbed down than this. You just do nothing. You just hold the coins in your wallet, wherever they might be, staked or unstaked, and you will get a 1-to-1 copy of the ERC20 tokens in that wallet on the PulseChain. Now, the other method, the second method, is sacrificing a ERC20 coin for, let's call it token X, okay? The name is not important. Sacrificing means you do not get these coins back. So you'll have a period of time in the future, again, not sure when, to sacrifice one coin for token X. And there's going to be a whole list of coins. This is actually not necessarily only Ethereum coins. This might be, Bitcoin, Zcash, maybe even Ripple, maybe even some other coins. And it's most likely that it's going to be the coins with the biggest communities behind them. But that final list is too.
I wonder, he said one coin. I wonder if it's one coin only or if it can be multiple coins. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I was muted.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, go.
Let me go back.
Go back just a little bit. Let me hit it
Okay.
again.
Be, Bitcoin, Zcash, maybe even Ripple, maybe even some other coins. And it's most likely that it's going to be the coins with the biggest communities behind them. Period of time in the future, again, not sure when, to sacrifice one coin for token X. And there's going to be a whole list of coins. This is actually not
Just so one coin for token X. So I don't think he's literal. I don't think he means one Ether coin. You're limited to that. I don't know, but
Right,
that's
we haven't gotten into this to what the sacrifice is. Let's finish this up and then we'll get
necessarily
into that.
only Ethereum coins. This might be, Bitcoin, Zcash, maybe even Ripple, maybe even some other coins. And it's most likely that it's going to be the coins with the biggest communities behind them. But that final list is to be determined. Anyway, when you sacrifice the coins, you do not get them back. So you have to have no expectations of profit from the work of others. That means it's a sacrifice, guys. That's literally the definition of sacrifice. You're giving these tokens away to then get a token called token X on the Ethereum blockchain. Like I just mentioned, the list of sacrificable coins is to be determined. So there is no final list yet, but I can show you a list, an idea of what they might be. Let's pull that up. So maybe on this random list of coins, a lot of these might not even make it, but things like Bitcoin, Wrapped Bitcoin, Ren BTC, US dollar coin, Uniswap, UNI, Link, DAI, USDT, Aave Maker, Dogecoin, Zcash. So again, you're seeing this is not only Ethereum tokens, right? This is stuff like Bcash, Zcash, Solana, DOT, AVAX. A lot of these things, I don't even know what they are. Filecoin, XRP. In my opinion, it'll be the coins with the biggest communities behind them because we want to give everybody an equal opportunity to get on over to a better system. That's going to be how that sacrifice period goes, and it'll likely last for a period of a couple of weeks. Finally, after you sacrifice your coins for the arbitrary X token, the reason that the X token doesn't matter is because it's going to be the conversion token for the Pulse tokens on the new chain. So when we go over to PulseChain, all the Ethereum are going to be switched over to Pulse tokens instead. And however much X you're able to buy through this sacrifice system is going to dictate however much Pulse you can then redeem them for. So a lot of uncertainties, but that's going to be basically how it goes. And we know enough to say that there's going to be two primary ways to get Pulse. Again, one, you just do nothing, hold the coins in your wallet. Number two, you get involved in this sacrifice period when it happens. Now, your next obvious question is, well, when's it going to happen? When launch? When moon, boys? Nobody knows yet, all right? So I'll let you know when I know. Or you'll probably find out from the Telegram channel. You can go to t.me/pulsechaincom, or you can go to pulsechain.com, or you can go to hex.com and click on the link on the homepage right in front of your face. Nobody knows when the launch is going to be, but if you want to keep yourself informed, you can like and subscribe to this channel, or you can find out via one of the other many social media channels. Now, Pulse is just really another network that your MetaMask can connect to. So if you have another wallet, I really highly recommend just getting MetaMask and using it. It's the most compatible with any network. But you see, in this screenshot right here, I've got, the Ethereum mainnet, which is what is defaulted on your chain, but you can switch it to any other of these test networks or real networks like this Matic mainnet here. And what's going to happen is essentially, I think, that PulseChain will just be another network that you connect to via clicking custom RPC and filling in a URL, and a couple clicks later, and boom, you're on Pulse network. So there's just going to be two versions of every coin that exist now, that exist on Ethereum. There's going to be a Pulse version and an ETH version. So it's really quite simple. I mean, it's kind of hard to imagine, right? But yes, we are literally doubling everything. That's why we're calling it, some of us are calling it the airdrop of a lifetime. So for example, if you own HEX, that happens to be my favorite coin, you can now refer to these new copies as the ETH version of HEX or the Pulse version of HEX, or maybe for abbreviation purposes, we just want to call it EHEX or PHEX. Whatever we want to call it, we just have to differentiate that there's now HEX on the old ETH network and HEX on the new Pulse network. And again, the reason for Pulse is instantaneous transactions and borderline free as well, so cheap and fast, which is pretty much solving the primary problem of Ethereum right now. Ethereum is neither cheap nor fast, so it's really not working as intended, right? So PulseChain fixes all this. Now, thanks for sticking around to the end, because we're going to talk about a galaxy brain secret that only the really, really smart people like you get to know, all right?
All right.
How to pump your favorite coin and get Pulse tokens in the process at the same time, right? Let's say you really like a coin and you want its price to go up. You should sacrifice it. Why do I say that? Your next response might be, well, why would I want to sacrifice my favorite coin? Well, okay, valid question. Let's say I really like HEX. HEX is my favorite coin, but I also own some Ethereum. Well, why would I sacrifice HEX? Why wouldn't I just sacrifice Ethereum to get that token X to then convert to Pulse? Well, rather than sacrifice ETH, why not just buy up the price of your favorite coin first and then convert that into token X?
That's what I'm doing.
So with my ETH, I could sacrifice the ETH, or I could buy up the HEX price so the HEX price on the ETH chain goes up. And then I could sacrifice that HEX into the sacrifice address and get the ability to redeem more Pulse tokens. So that way the HEX price goes up on the ETH chain and you still get your Pulse. Crazy, right? I know a lot of you probably figured that out on your own, but just in case anybody hasn't figured that out yet, that's a pro tip right there. Now, you might be asking, well, can't the sacrifice...
Okay, I'm back.
And then I could sacrifice that HEX into the sacrifice address and get the ability to redeem more Pulse tokens. So,
okay, here's the question. So I could today go take my ETH and buy some HEX, or is it better to wait and do it after all of this happens during that 3 or 2 week period? No, because you want to be able to have the HEX to be able to have double the HEX, right?
Well, it depends on what you want doubled. So right now HEX is 6 cents or whatever it is. So if you had if you had $3,500, you can buy 1 ETH and you're going to get 1 ETH over there. It's going to happen automatically.
Okay.
Or you can buy, 7,000 or whatever the number is, 70,000, whatever the number is, HEX, and those 70,000 will be doubled over there. It sounds a little more attractive. You have a whole bunch. I'm I'm not sure what the difference will be.
But what about this
dollar value
10,000 to 1? I keep hearing
the 10,000 to 1.
Yeah, what the hell?
So again, the sacrifice means you're sacrificing them. And as Richard puts it, if somebody's feeling really nice and appreciates your sacrifice, they will give you something back. But they're doing it so it's zero value. So when you get it, when you sacrifice, it's just a sacrifice. And then you're going on trust, you're going on faith that you're going to get something back.
And that something back is rumored to be a lot more coins.
Yeah, well, it'll be the X token that you can then buy Pulse with. But when you do the sacrifice, so let's say I have 1 ETH, now I got 1 Pulse ETH or whatever they want to call it over there.
Yeah.
And I could say, all right, I'm just going to keep those. I have my 2 ETH, 1 Pulse ETH, 1 regular ETH, or I could sacrifice some of that ETH or all of it, and I sacrifice it. And the sacrifice number might be 10,000 to 1, could be 100 to 1, but the number that's being thrown out there is 10,000 to 1. Okay. So how can it give you 10,000 Pulse ETH, for 1? How could they do that? Well, the answer is everyone's getting these mirrored ETHs. Everything's getting mirrored over there with zero value. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now you're asking me to burn $3,500. Well, what are you going to give me? And they're going to give, these things are like close to zero or zero value. They're going to give you a whole ton of them with the hopes that they go up.
Right.
Okay. And then somebody was asking about they have this charity where you can send your ERC2 tokens to a charity, and then you can deduct that, but you only get 75% of whatever the ratio is. So if it's 10,000 to 1, you're only going to get 7,500 to 1 because you're already doing it. So to me, the way I look at that, it's a wash for me.
Well, and if I may insert myself here, is you get to deduct that on your taxes, right? Now you're opening up a whole separate can of worms that if you're a hodler, right? If you're a hodler, you aren't taxed until there is an event, an exchange, or you sell a coin, right? So if this is sacrificing your coins, to me, you're getting zero back. That's a non-taxable event because you're not getting any, there's nothing to tax. So I would personally rather just get 100% versus 75%, because that 25% would be the deduction in my mind if I had a shitload of taxes that I wanted to tell Uncle Sam that, yeah, I'm really into crypto and probably making a lot of money on it. Or, you know what I'm saying? So I'm suggesting people don't muddy it up by trying to overthink it with this charity address, but I could be wrong.
Yeah. That's nothing I'm interested in. I'm not looking at it. So I don't think most people will. And I think he just has it out there for some people, it might make sense for, people that have tons of money and tons of tax liability that they're dealing with. Maybe it does help in some way.
Okay. So bottom line is,
are we finishing this or are we?
Yeah, we're going to finish it. But before I go on, just bottom line is, it looks like if you sacrifice a token, you cannot have an expectation that you're going to get anything back. So you're already going to have your Ether token on the other side, the PulseChain. But if you sacrifice it on the ETH side, then that goes to zero. You've given it away. Right. But the wink, wink, nudge, nudge is you're going to get a shitload more value for that. So instead of...
I think that the reason they do the sacrifice is because you're taking liquidity out of the Ether network and putting it over there. That's basically what you're doing.
That's right.
And that's something new I just learned, is that they will allow you to sacrifice some other non-ERC20 tokens, because that does the same thing for them. But you're just not going to get, like, if you sacrifice a Bitcoin, you're not going to get a Bitcoin over there. You're just going to get the sacrifice ones. You're not going to get a free one on the non-ERC20 tokens.
Got it.
Okay.
Got it.
That's my understanding. Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, here's my little brain working. Why would you want to sacrifice a $3,500 ETH for however many would be at 5 cents, let's say.
Because so let's use let's say we have an ERC20 token that is $100 just for easy math.
Yeah.
And so now I have a Pulse ERC token that's whatever it's worth. It could be worth nothing at the beginning. And, you know, hopefully that goes up. Let's say that ERC token goes up to 5 cents. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, now I've got a 5 cent token. But if I got 10,000 to 1, so if I put 100 in there, I have 10,000 to 1 times $100 is $100,000, right?
Yeah.
Right. 10,000. Do. So now I have 10,000 of those and if it goes up to 5 cents, well, I have 5 cents times 10,000, which is $5,000, right?
I don't know. I don't have my calculator here. So while you're calculating it, I will tell you my answer to it, which is, why would I want to do that? Why would I want to sacrifice $3,500? Is if you think of, to get a 100% gain on my Ether or my ETH, you'd be looking at $7,000 ETH. You know how long it's going to take to get a $7,000 ETH? I don't know. Could be this bull run, maybe not, but with everything being so nuts. But when you start looking at something that is brand spanking new, that equivalent, the $3,500 that's equivalent, and then they throw a lot more coins on top of that, to me, that is a great bet, because to be able to increase in value, that lower cap coin can double, triple, 20x, 100x,
right?
Still never even be close to
if it's true, if it's 10,000 to 1 and you burn 1 ETH at $35,000, $3,500.
Yeah.
That's going to be 35. Wait, 1 ETH. No, it's 10,000. I'm sorry. I did the math wrong. So you're getting 10,000 of them. And if it goes to $5, $3.50, then it's worth the same amount. But maybe it's going to go to $3,000. Who knows? Maybe it's not going to go anywhere. The other thing is, anything could happen. Okay, let's finish the video and then I'll get into the what the anything that could happen is.
Okay.
That way the hex price goes up on the ETH chain and you still get your pulse. Crazy, right? I know a lot of you probably figured that out on your own, but just in case anybody hasn't figured that out yet, that's a pro tip right there. Now, you might be asking, well, can't the sacrifice address just sell all the coins too? How do I know they're not just going to sell them? You don't. You're right. You're right. You have no idea. That address can do whatever they want. But I will say that judging by what the origin address has done so far, hasn't sold a single coin. And, I personally believe that there's a much lower chance that your coin being sold to a big whale is much better off in the big whale's hands than it is in your.
So this big whale likely is Richard Fork, right? Or Richard, whatever his last name.
Richard Hart.
Hart, sorry. Yeah. Right?
Hence the PulseChain. Pulse Hart.
Got it. Okay. Okay, so that's probably the whale he's talking about. And if you ever watch this guy, you should follow him. He is not motivated by money. Period.
Paper hands, okay? Let's be honest. If you're not motivated by money anymore, you probably don't really care to sell a lot of these altcoins that you might be getting, right? So I think the chance is much, much lower of some big giant whale.
I'm just going on record. I'm looking forward to the day I'm not motivated by money. Just saying.
That's proven to, not have sold any previous coins before to not sell than you, okay? Because really, you were going to sell those coins anyway, weren't you, for Pulse? So why not give them to a party that's much less likely, in my opinion, to sell them? But again, you are right, and there's nothing stopping the big whale sacrifice address from dumping all these coins on your head. So again, no promises and no expectations. I just think the probability is much, much lower in that guy's hands. So finally, I'll leave you guys with this. There's still a lot we don't know about PulseChain, but it is going to be, I think, the hype event of the later half of the year. So be patient, stay calm, enjoy the bull market, and enjoy your mad gains. I mean, there's so much good going on in this world right now. Stuff going on in crypto. Don't fret if you don't have all the details right now. Just start thinking about how you might want to play this upcoming PulseChain launch, because it's going to be a really big deal, not just for Hex, but for the entire crypto ecosystem, right? So keep calm, enjoy your mad gains, and I'll talk to you on the next one.
All right.
Hey guys, in this video, we're going to talk about...
That's Crypto Coffee. He's going to be a guest tomorrow night at 7 p.m.
Nice.
So I hope you all come along. David, you are absolutely, you've already been invited, but
I'll make it if I got to look at my calendar.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry about that.
So another thing is, if hey, this interests you, you were learning about this stuff, a great place to learn more is on the Telegram chat, t.me. What does it go?
T.me/pirate chain. Not or PulseChain.com.
PulseChain.com, no dot.
Oh, PulseChain.
PulseChain.com. And you can read the chat there, or you can click the listen live. They have like is it not Telegram? They have like a
Telegram or whatever
chat, whatever that's called.
Yeah.
And you can just listen to these guys talk, and there's a lot of guys in there talking. I was on there this morning asking questions, getting good answers, and then a whole bunch of people recognized me, and some of the other guys are like, "Who are you? Like what is your site?" And so I started telling them, and then all of a sudden we got into this whole Flutter thing, and I was muted.
That's great.
So don't talk about anything that's not Pulse related there, so you don't get muted.
Look, I posted a video to talk about this. I was going to talk about it over the weekend, and I posted it to that Telegram chat, and I was disappeared. You had to help me go into a mod to be able to resurrect me. So thank you, David. For
So just and rightly so. They want to keep it on topic. And those guys don't know me from a hole in the wall, but a whole bunch of the people that were in there, they're like, Dave Weiss, I can't believe that's you. You know, blah blah. And there's a lot of flat earthers in there, and of course the people that have never looked into flat Earth. You know, what do you think? The moon is round. You know, the moon is flat too, and this silly stuff. So it's all right. I'm not faulting them. And I get it. And then they unmuted me, and all is well. So
that's good. That's good.
It's pretty funny.
But the fact is, this is something that it's brand spanking new to some brand spanking new to crypto people, which is all of us, most of us watching here. I'm sure there are a few that have way more experience, but this is kind of fun. This is one of those that I think it would be worth. I don't know. Personally, I'm gonna bet probably 10% of my portfolio on it.
So a lot of people asking what would I do, because I'm never going to tell you what to do. I have a lot of staked Pulse that's maturing every year or so for the next 15 years. So that's all going to be mirrored over there. So those contracts will be over there. Maybe they'll be worth nothing. If they're worth a penny, that's a penny that I didn't have before. Times whatever the number is, and if it could go up. And I think the deal is, if that goes way up, if it like shoots to the moon, then the Ethereum version of it goes down, because that means everyone's taking over. I could be wrong on that, but either way, it's a win-win. Yeah, it's a win-win. But what could happen that could screw this whole thing up? Well, what happened yesterday or the day before? Elon Musk, right?
Yes.
Said something.
Yes.
Elon Musk said something. So by the way, I'm going to point out, and for those of you that don't know, anyone that's following me, Elon Musk is a puppet. Elon Musk doesn't run any companies. He doesn't know anything.
He's an actor.
He's an actor, and he is saying the things that they want to manipulate the market for whatever reason it was. And if anyone that doesn't believe that, this is a rocket that Elon Musk launched the other day. Watch this. And if you think this is real, one, you should not be in crypto. Two, you really got to analyze yourself. This is the rocket that Elon Musk took off. Does that look like a rocket to you? Does that look real in any way? Notice how many cuts this is. This is their video. Look at this thing. And we're going to let this play for a minute. And when it comes down, and watch this. So you got two camera views. One, we have like a side view, and then we have this view. Look how high they are. How do you have a side view like this when it's that high in the sky? It would have to be miles and miles away. Now, this thing is like 40,000 pounds falling out of the sky. Does that look like 40,000 pounds falling out of the sky? Look at the smoke. It's just smoke coming off of this. What is this? A helium blimp or something?
Looks helium.
Yeah. And so look, it's up this high. This is how high it is, but they can get a side view like this. Okay. This is what they showed live. And I just want to, for those that haven't seen this, watch the landing. Okay. What happens when you have 40,000 pounds falling out of the sky? Look, You can see how fast it's going by the smoke that's coming off of it. Oh, look, this little flame comes out. It stands upright. Who's underneath this thing filming? Okay. This is a cartoon, right? And now they're going to show you something. Look at these. Look at this. This is nonsense. Now watch this landing. This is Elon Musk. What I'm pointing out is if this is fake, it is. Elon Musk is a 100% fraud, New World Order puppet. Now, doesn't mean the words that come out of his mouth don't affect things, but now you have some perspective to understand that he is just a puppet. Okay.
But a very powerful puppet. His words are, his tweets are, and they can really screw up our portfolios. And unfortunately, I mean, I don't know. Let's look what Bitcoin is today. I mean,
why would you look? Why would you look? Every coin that I've ever had, if I didn't sell it, I would have a lot more money. Oh,
I'm not selling. I'm just looking at the ride.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit back up, but
49.
It went down. Everything went down by 25% over the last 48 hours.
And the way I say it is nothing can go higher. If you're already on your tippy toes reaching up, you can't jump. You have to bend your knees way down and then you can jump.
Oh, I like that. Yeah. That's pretty good, man. I've never heard that one. I'm stealing that one. I'll give you credit for it though.
Yeah, you have to give me full credit.
Uncle Vigilante always gives credit. Like I miss Gerald though.
Gerald?
Yeah.
Oh yes, Gerald.
I was gonna say you haven't been watching my.
I have been watching. I forgot about it. I was like, that's what Gerald is.
we love us some Gerald.
Yeah. So I don't think I finished my my what I was saying before. What am I gonna do? Because I'm not gonna tell you what to do. Is I have my stake stuff, so that's all gonna be mirrored. So I can't burn those.
You're not messing that.
I'd have to end the stakes. But I bought some hex a while ago, and I'm gonna probably burn it all. I'm probably going to burn it all because I have the stake tax. If I didn't, I kind of like hex. I would probably burn 75% of it and keep 25% of it just as a backup to see what's happening. The other thing about the burning is, when a coin is announced, you want to be the first one. Otherwise, your people that front run you are going to push the price up.
Yeah.
Right? What Rich is doing to prevent front running is he's going to have a minimum of a 3-day flat period. Okay, like the earth flat, where you could just everyone gets in at the same price. Okay, gets in at the same ratio, whatever that ratio is, 10,000 to 1, 500 to 1, whatever it is. So when they announce it, you have 3 days to make your trade. Now here's the problem: the trade is going to cost. Well, you got. It's just a transfer, so it's not like a transaction. So you're not going to have the hundreds and hundreds of dollars, but whatever the gas is, it might be $10, it might be $50.
But it's not going to be those egregious $100 or $1,000 fees bullshit.
It's not, and it's also going to be over a 3-day period. So Richard, super smart guy, he knows this is all about the gas prices. This is why one of the number one reason, I think the number one reason that he's doing it. But he's going to do it where one of those 3 days is a Sunday where gas prices are the lowest. So you can expect it to happen either on a Friday or a Saturday, is my guess.
Friday, Saturday, why wouldn't it be Sunday when the gas fees are lowest?
Well, then that would mean he would be starting on a Sunday. I think that he would
I'm with you.
Yeah, maybe started a day or even 2 days before. That's my guess. I'm just guessing.
No, it's probably a good guess. So probably start this Friday. You don't know shit, but
this Friday or next Friday or 6 Fridays from then. But I think it's very soon. Anything could happen though. So
this is where I've been very out of sorts since you've been telling me this, because I'm like, what do I need to do to prepare? And so now I'm sitting here. I have my hex. I didn't buy a ton of it, but I bought enough of it, but now that I know about the ETH, that all I have to do is send that to an address. What he said on there is if I wanted to pump hex, his pro tip was, why not buy the hex with the ETH now if you're going to burn the hex?
I think as this gets closer and more people know, I think hex is just going to keep going up. That's me. Could go down. I think it's going to keep going up. I think once it goes over 10 cents, it's going to go much higher. But that's me. And again, if this thing wasn't coming up, I probably would have bought some more hex and just sat on it liquid just because of what's going on.
Okay, but wait a minute. So if let's say I have a 200,000 hex, okay, now, and so when this magical airdrop happens, I'll get another 200,000 hex, right?
Pulse hex.
And then I can keep those and then burn the 200,000 old hex.
You burn the 200,000 old hex and get 200,000 times whatever the multiplier is.
Got it. But I'm still keeping the new hex would be at 0, or would it be mirrored?
No, it won't be. The stuff that gets mirrored over is, I think it comes over at 0, but that's quickly going to change. It's like a new coin being entered into the market. The market will determine what it is. So as this thing grows, and if I don't know if Ethereum can fix their gas problem.
Right.
If that's the case, this could be the new thing. I mean, I think, it could completely crush the Ethereum network and take over it and make it what it was supposed to be.
Right.
Kind of like Bitcoin kind of like Pirate Chain and Monero. That's what Bitcoin was supposed to be.
Right.
Okay.
Speaking of pirate, here's the thing. You have like Cardano. You have these these projects that have great marketing behind them, it seems. And I just, other than the initial pump of ARRR, it has just been bumping between $6 and $8, it seems. And I think that they're just in need of some marketing, man. Just because
things don't happen as fast as you want them to, Uncle Vigilante. Okay. And I've learned a little patience in this, especially by the shit that I sold. My first investment, I bought 1,000 shares of Dell Computer at $18, and it was all the money I had in the world. And it went down to 14 the next day. And I was like, oh crap. Then it went up to, it went its way back up. It got up to like 26, and then I sold out at 24. So I made $6 in like 3 weeks, right? Paid capital gains taxes on that. It split 7 times since then. So I'd have like 1 million shares at $85 if I had held it. Okay?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, so again, you just got to watch these things. So I forgot the point I was trying to make. What was the question you asked? I had a good point.
I don't know, but my Uncle Vigilante risk-taking tendency is rearing its ugly head. It's like I'm wanting to say, fuck my ETH bag. I'm all in.
No, do not dump all of your ETH. I think ETH is going to do really well. Like for me, I'm going to take a quarter of my ETH.
Okay.
A quarter of my ETH. But mine's different. I already have some hex. Okay.
Right.
So if I didn't have any hex, maybe I would take half of my ETH. Okay. It's different for everybody. And now another thing is, especially for people, if you're only dealing with, a small bag, you just want to get in and, a couple $100, couple thousand, whatever the number is, make sure you have some ETH for the gas. Don't dump everything in and then try to do it. Oh shit. Now I got to go buy some ETH, and you're scrambling. Always have some ETH sitting there. And somebody asked, where do I keep my hex? You can keep it in Meta. It's all linked to MetaMask. MetaMask is a wallet that it's a very popular online wallet. And you have to use Chrome browser and just download the MetaMask plugin for it, and it's right there. Then you have it. It's awesome wallet. All
right, I sent this to you, and you said good question. So I'm just going to say it out loud here. Somebody in the comments, I took a screenshot, said, hello, will we be getting copies of our stable coins on Pulse? And how will we be able to buy for fiat on Pulse Network our copies of ERC tokens? The way I understand it is by making a copy of every token, people will be able to transact on the Pulse Network, but the ERC copies can't be transacted for fiat as there is no exchange that will accept them at start. So even if one coin pumps to 1 million, you would not be able to exchange it for fiat. If this will be possible if it will be possible to exchange them with coins on the other chains to determine the value, then all the stable coins can't get copied. And that in turn will not allow people that are providing pools on Uniswap to get copies of coins that they got in those pools. I am a good reader, guys. This is just very small type. The liquidity needs to be channeled in from other networks in form of stable coins. Please explain how this will be working, as it seems to me I missed some crucial information. Thank you. I don't know if there's an answer, but I'll definitely ask this question tomorrow night. But
yeah, that's a question for tomorrow night. And I heard some chatter about it today, and I don't know the full answer, but I think that all is going to be coming. I think stable coins. I think there's no way that Rich is doing this with no way to off ramp the money. There's no way.
Yeah.
So I think there's already ways, and if something has value, somebody's willing to pay for that value. Otherwise, there's no value. So
yeah,
I don't know the answer, but I'm sure it's going to be answered before this whole thing starts.
Right. Because that's ultimately kind of the key, that if this thing does moon a little bit, and let's just say, it moons enough to have a meaningful impact, and you want to go buy a boat, I want to be able to off ramp it, because I doubt the boat dealer is going to accept PulseChain for payment.
Right. So that's we need to get the answers on that for sure.
Yeah.
So what was the other thing I was going to say? God, I'm spacing out today. It'll come back to me.
Oh, we were talking about.
So there's. Go ahead.
We were talking about ARRR and marketing, and you were saying that,
Oh yeah. That's so. Here's something that happened. So there's been rumors that Binance is going to list. Binance is interested in ARRR. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
There's been hints that hey, it could get listed on Binance. But then today in the news, Binance is being investigated for securities fraud or whatever, some kind of fraud.
Great.
So who knows? What does that do? Does that do anything? Does that make it? I don't know the answer. So there are so many unknowns in this.
Yeah.
Don't take your life savings and throw it into crypto.
Right.
Okay.
I did.
Don't do it. Right? But here's the thing. There's so many things in life that, that can go wrong. But, the way, and a lot of people like Owen Benjamin and other people that make comments, like Crow, they don't like crypto, right? But crypto's here. And there's an opportunity for lots of people like us to make a lot of money. Make the money. Don't be a pig. Pull half of it out and buy something that's solid, a house, land, whatever it is. Buy something, and then you win. Then you're a winner, even if it goes to zero, because you already own it. Okay.
Right. What's Owen Benjamin saying about crypto? I don't ever.
Owen doesn't like it because he doesn't fully understand it either. He thinks that it's a trap. I'm not 100% sure on all of his reasons, but I get it. I get it from his point of view. And, but for a lot of people, there's people that, there's a family in New York that put $1,000 into Dogecoin 6 months ago, less than a year ago, and they're multimillionaires. I think it's $8 million now or something. Maybe it's more than that. I forget, but that's $1,000. I mean, here's how I look at this. Back when Bitcoin started and it was 5 cents, people weren't gobbling it up because they didn't want to waste their money because no one knew what's going to happen.
Right.
I look at this Pulse thing as this is Bitcoin at 5 cents, but we have no idea if it's going to make it.
You have no idea if it's going to make it, but the leader of the pack is proven.
Yeah, just everyone subscribe to Richard Hart's channel. He does these live streams where he just talks to the audience, and he's funny. He's funny, and and he's no one can estimate his wealth because he's just a super whale in the crypto world. And he just laughs about it, and people like, the same thing they do to Jeff Berwick, yo, you're so rich and you're making me feel bad. And he's like, no, I'm wearing this expensive watch because I like it. And people like to look at my expensive watch. This is not an expensive watch, by the way.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny.
But he also says in that, I think the sentence before is, I spend a fraction of my net worth because he's worth so much.
Small fraction.
A small fraction. So it's like if you're an billionaire with a B,
much respect.
If you're an billionaire with a B and you spend money on,
by the way,
on a Rolodex, which is what he had. Go ahead.
Yeah. If Richard, if you're hearing this, we'd love to have you on this show, on the show with Jaron and myself, and Uncle Odd. And I know you hate flat Earth. Talk to me. Gonna straighten you out on that. He's been bashing flat Earth a few times, and he has his conception of what flat Earth is. I would laugh at it too. It's ridiculous, but he's been brainwashed, like we were all brainwashed. The Earth is floating up in the sky, and it's nobody believes anything that you believe about flat Earth, Richard. So there's your call out. Love to talk to you. But info at theflatearthpodcast.com. You could reach out.
But Elon sure made some millionaires.
It's going down.
You're coming in fine.
My internet's low. Okay.
You're coming in fine.
I'm back.
Yeah, you were always
good,
here.
Good.
You're always here with us. But no, man, I freaking love crypto. I think it is awesome, and I believe with all my heart and soul that this is like Web 1.0 was way back when Google started being a thing, Amazon, Apple started being a thing. It was like, man, all of this stuff we don't understand one day. Could you imagine that PulseChain 10 years from now is as ubiquitous as an iPhone is today? It's just like everybody's using it. Everybody knows it. Everybody, whatever. And we're sitting here talking in 10 years, while we don't have yacht envy. And we're just sitting here thinking, man, I remember when we had that live stream where we didn't know anything. It was before that airdrop. Remember that airdrop? How freaking crazy was that? That's where I think we are right now.
Yeah. So again, people, and I have a big problem with people go, you're just gambling, and then they go to the casino on the weekend and they blow $1,000. Okay.
Yeah. It's a quick story. I had
a lot of people do that.
My wife and I, we went to dinner with a couple, great couple. Never went to dinner with him before, and he's a Jeep guy. I mean, one of these that knows how to tear them apart, break them up. And I have a Jeep Rubicon, and he's like, "Oh, dude, you got to put this." And he called it something, but I guess it can take it like an additional 250 horsepower. And in my mind, I'm like, fuck do I need that for? But he sent me a link to how much it would cost. $6,000, but he said that he would install it for me because he just likes doing that stuff. You know where my head immediately went? It immediately went to that $6,000. If I invested that same $6,000 in crypto, what's it going to be worth in 5 years? That's how my brain works now. And I think that's healthy.
And I made a video the other day. I took a clip of one of my interviews saying, I think that college is the biggest scam on earth right now. Everything you want to learn, you could learn it better on the internet. You don't need to travel to find the professor that knows the knowledge, because the knowledge is everywhere. So I tell kids, don't go to college. Take a quarter of that money, invest it in Hex, invest it, do this, invest it in Pirate Chain. Go do something for 4 years, learn to kite surf for 4 years, become a world-class kite surfer in over 4 years. And then you'll graduate and you'll be, and study like Crow 777 radio. That's what I said. Just listen to one Crow every day. So 2 hours of class a day. You can do it you can probably even do it while you're kite surfing if you plug in the headphones. It doesn't matter.
Yep.
You can do it wherever you want. And you'll end up being the smartest kid. I would hire you, and you'll be a millionaire probably in 4 years.
It's true.
With no debt and well-rounded and a world-class kite surfer. I'm putting that out there because I want people to start calling me in 4 years. Go, yeah, I took your advice. My kid is worth $10 million today, and they're in the Olympics in the kite surfing.
David Weiss School of Education.
Yeah.
Get your PhD in Weiss.
$5 a month, or $7 a month. Crow 777 radio. For anyone that doesn't know what that is, just subscribe and just start listening from the first episode, and you will be smarter than anybody that I know.
Yeah, that's not too hard on this channel. So, so I had somebody ask in the chat, could you do a quick tutorial video how you could go through the process of setting up your wallet ready for PulseChain event, or have you done it already? I will say very, very clearly, guys, the last thing you will ever see on this channel is me giving a tutorial on anything. I don't know shit. Lots of times when this kind of stuff happens, I reach out to someone, do a screen share, they help me through it. I wish my brain was sticky that I could just re-articulate exactly how you set everything up. But trust me, if you go to t.me/PulseChain.com, you're going to be able to get those questions answered. But in here,
you know what? I don't even know about the wallets yet, but I'm sure it's easy. I'm not worried about that yet because that's a couple steps down the road. As soon as we do the sacrifice and everything, as soon as that happens, then I'll be like, okay, which wallet do I want to use? You know, and how do I connect it all together?
And Nunya,
I think you can connect your. Yeah, I'm 99% sure you can just connect your MetaMask to it.
Yeah, Nunya business. XRP equals all the money. Well, XRP is, I think it's my third largest holding. So I hope you're right. I haven't sold one, and I don't intend to, because I do think that could be the Druid Babylonian Bastard coin. I'm just willing to hold on and see. But there's a lot of people that say friends don't let friends buy XRP. So I don't know. It could, we'll see. It's, I got in at 22 cents and it's at $1.50 now. So it's to your, I mean,
that's garbage in crypto land. Garbage.
I know.
That's only
like, I want to talk about that.
That's only like 600%. That's only like a 6x. Come on.
Isn't that the shit though? To where I'll go on these walks, and there's this one guy I like a lot. He's the guy who wears the sunglasses, and he loves trading altcoins. He finds which coins are pumping, and then he goes on the coins that kind of rely on those coins, and his strategy is to trade those. He's brilliant. I love him. I love his style, everything about him. But every time I do, instead of going on my walk and just feeling the joy of smoking a cigar and getting out in nature, all it does is it does a David Weiss on me. It just stirs me up inside, and I'm feeling like I'm missing out on something. And I'm screenshotting it and trying to get home and figuring out, how do I get these coins? And then inevitably I forget, and then they moon, and then I'm like, fuck. But it does create this sense of unease all the time.
Hey, you want that uneasy feeling? Have you looked into Australian Safe Shepherd?
No.
It's 0.0000002 cents right now, not 2 cents.
Okay.
So for a couple $100, you can buy hundreds of millions of them. Okay.
Yeah.
Australian Safe Shepherd. Now, I don't know what its use case is. It could be a total shitcoin, but just for the call letters, it would be nice to say, if someone goes, how did you make your millions? You go, I bought a lot of ass. It's ASS. My friend just bought like 85 billion coins.
I bought a lot of ass.
I bought a lot of ass.
I invested in a lot of ass.
I invested in a lot of ass. Just for that, it's worth putting a couple $100 in it.
I like
to have that conversation, even if it goes to zero. Okay.
I like that. I ended up.
I don't have any ass yet. But I'm looking into getting some ass. But it's not easy to get. You got to go through like Pancake Swap and a whole bunch of different things to get it. So
yeah,
not sure if it's worth the meme, but who knows?
Yeah. Well, I got in on that. What is it? Moonchain. Let me see what it is. I can't. Are you a sheep dude?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I missed out on that. I missed out on
I know.
Dogecoin.
Moonchain. I got Moonchain.
You bought some Moonchain?
I got Moonchain. Yep. And then I got what's the MCF? Or is that Moonchain? MCF. But one of them, I ended up with like 31 billion coins or something stupid. It's the same thing. It's like 8 zeros. It's like one Satoshi almost.
I think that this mirroring, this fork, is going to give us all of those opportunities again. I mean, I think it's like,
right.
It's like one of those really almost
wild west.
And if it goes up, if it goes up to $1, forget about it.
Yeah.
So
okay, David Weiss, let me ask you a question, and I don't care what the number is. What is your number that if you hit it, you would say, I'm good. I don't even ever have to look at my app again. I know what my budget is.
I'm always going to look at my app again. Maybe I'll make it free if I could.
Yeah, no, but I want to know the number that would let you buy your house of preference, boat of just you would have it if you needed a staff. Give me a number.
I can't put a number on it. I can't put a number on it, but I will.
At what point in time would you be satisfied and you wouldn't feel penis envy? Somebody has a bigger house.
When I would like a house on the beach in Florida, kind of near where you are.
Yeah.
And a house in Belize.
Okay, so you want a twofer. All right. Yeah. You want to be that kind of snowbird, whatever, a non-snowbird, a sunbird.
A sunbird.
You want to be a sunbird. And so you pay, once you have that, then you're happy?
I'm happy right now, my friend. I'm happy right now. But it'll be a fun ride to get there. And Belize is looking very, very, very nice. So
VR Studios into Moon Chain for billions too. We're billionaires, man. We are billionaires. But tomorrow, let's see. No, that's never mind. But it's a question that I've been asking myself, because I find that, as my portfolio has gone up, it's gone down a lot over the last week, but I know it's just a bumpy ride up. And it's just how it's going to be. So I don't fret about it. It doesn't make me want to go sell.
Imagine if you made the worst Bitcoin choice in history. You bought it back in 2017 when it just touched $20,000.
Yeah.
And you just bought all your Bitcoin at $20,000.
Yeah.
And then it dropped down to 3.
And you're just like, fuck.
But now it's over double. And we're just talking a couple of years. Look at anyone's IRA, anyone's stock holdings. That doesn't happen.
No.
It doesn't. I mean, that's the worst case scenario.
And we're talking about the Elon eclipse, because the Musk eclipse, because that fucker, if he wouldn't have said anything negative about Bitcoin, we wouldn't be talking that it's in the 40s. That's totally manufactured by a tweet.
Well, and it's not him. He is
the puppet. His controllers.
He is the puppet. He is this guy. Okay, maybe let's keep this playing in the background just so everybody can see it. All right. This is Elon Musk, a total fraud, 100% total fraud.
But he did shoot a car through space up to Mars.
No, it was supposedly to Mars. You really, I'm sure that you don't believe that.
Dude, but you know me.
The funny thing is that people that believe that, no one's ever seen it. There's no pictures of it. Here it is. This is amazing. How come this shot isn't in every Tesla showroom, right? I mean, look at this. A Tesla in space. Elon Musk is a fraud. Look at this shot right here.
Right there. That's CGI right there. That shot.
This is
people believe that.
Yeah. People believe this. Ready? Snapshot ready now. That should be in every Tesla showroom. There's not. It's nowhere. It's not on a postcard. It's not on a postage stamp. It's not.
I just want to know who lacks the capacity to critically think, to believe that you have shown.
Because people have a problem not realizing that people high up can be that deceitful. Elon Musk, he's the CEO of the largest tunneling company in the world, CEO of the largest solar power company in the world, CEO of the largest electric car company in the world. He's the CEO of the company that's going to merge your brains with computers. Okay. He's the CEO he's the guy that took over fucking NASA. Okay. No human could do all of those things. Nobody.
No way.
Neither can Elon.
No way.
He is a moron.
I'm having trouble with like 5 different exchanges, dude, with crypto, you know?
So Elon Musk is just a spokesman. Maybe sometimes he goes a little rogue. I don't think so. I think every single thing he does is controlled.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, everything that is mainstream is controlled. So there's no question. So if that's controlled, then the question is, you know, can you really take a look at this Bitcoin and the crypto historical cycle and believe in it?
Yeah. So the way I look at it is, I think crypto kind of snuck up on them. Then they kind of took control of it, and now it's breaking away again with all these these decentralized or decentralized exchanges, DeFi, and on these privacy coins, Pirate Chain and Monero. And I think that, you know, if they don't flip the table over and people wake the heck up, if everyone goes over there, you know, I think it literally gets away from them. It eliminates the middleman. And the whole thing with Elon saying that Bitcoin uses too much energy. Yeah, Bitcoin does use a lot of energy, but so does the friggin' banking system. Look at all the buildings.
Hey, may I ask
what?
How do you make electricity? Isn't it by coal? Don't you make coal for these electric cars?
All of it. You got to look into all of that. And the other thing is, I mean, now we're getting into the real deception. Electricity is free. There's free energy everywhere. Tesla proved that. Not Elon's Tesla. Nikola Tesla. There's free energy in this earth that can be extracted from the ether right here. The civilization before us, you know, in the 1800s had free energy.
John LeBon thinks Tesla was manufactured.
Well, that's John LeBon. We can talk about that when we're riding our LeBons through the Caribbean. Our LeBon jet skis.
Yeah. So, but unfortunately, he usually backs it up with lots of research to where he'll challenge you to say, okay.
So you know what? So Nikola Tesla, I mean, was he made up? I doubt it. That's interesting. I'd be willing to look into it. But free energy technology isn't made up.
No. Yeah. Right.
So whether he's, you know, whatever his part is, all of our history is a lie. So maybe John's onto something, but who the heck knows?
Yeah, he's kind of the post-mortem Elon Musk. You know, it's like he invented all of this stuff that fits a narrative, kind of like Einstein was really, really smart.
Yeah. So
one day, maybe, Dave, one day, maybe there'll be somebody that you know, after you die, that they talk about David Weiss, genius, what he pulled off.
They're already talking about I popped into the friggin' chat on the PulseChain chat, and everyone's like, David Weiss. I'm like, people like, who are you? What's your channel? I'm like,
you do have a very distinct voice.
Well, thank you. It's not the greatest distinct voice, but it is very distinct.
Yeah, it's very distinct.
Yeah, so whatever. It is what it is. Again, our reality, our future is what we believe it to be. And if we believe that they're going to win, then that's not going to help. If we all push forward and do break away from the banking system, remember, the bankers are the controllers of the world. They're the ones that are controlling it. This breaks the bank. They don't like it, but they can't stop it unless they take the whole thing down.
You know what we need? What we need, my friend, is we need these real estate agents, and we need, more importantly, the closing title companies and such to start getting into crypto. I just closed this last week on I co-signed on a starter home for my daughter. And I'm like, you know, thank goodness I did keep a little dry powder back just to be able to show proof of funds and stuff, because if it was just, they don't acknowledge anything that you have in crypto.
Right. But by the way, there are homes in Florida that accept crypto. Nicaragua, Belize, there's agencies that take all types of crypto down there. So it's coming. And there's no reason any real estate company here shouldn't accept crypto, even if the seller of the house doesn't want it, because all they have to do is take the crypto at closing, swap it into a stable coin. Okay, we have the amount, game over. Then they can just put it to their, Coinbase account, pull the money out and pay the owner, take their commission.
Yeah.
So it's not like there's no risk, and it opens up a huge market for them. So anybody that owns real estate company, you got to start looking into crypto. You know, reach out to any of us, and we'll teach you how to do it. If your real estate company takes crypto and the other ones down the road don't, well, guess what? You're going to have a lot more sales. You're going to have a lot more,
and you're going to be able to charge a premium for it.
Yeah, you can charge a premium for it too. And
because I wouldn't give a shit, dude. You know how when, let's just hypothetically say R, ends up going to $100. You and I and many people watching this are going to be really, really happy. It's going to be a rounding error, whatever premium these people would, and so it's just like, yeah, take R, man. Yeah. Let me give you a tip.
Real estate companies. What if it doubled your take? What do real estate companies get? 5%?
7 split.
Yes, or sometimes even less. Well, what if it almost doubled it? Okay.
Right. Exactly.
And again, there's no hassle. There's nothing illegal about it. And it'll open up the market to a lot of people that are making a lot of money that want to buy a lot of nice houses.
No,
so now you're the real estate company that's moving 20 houses when the other places are moving 1 house.
You got it.
That's because you've just opened it up to a whole new wealth population.
And as you know, this crypto community is fairly small still, but we're small enough to still kind of be one big giant family. And so word travels fast. So if you have a crypto friendly real estate or a lender, man.
And it doesn't even have to. Here's the thing. People are like, well, what if you pay in Bitcoin and it was like 5 o'clock and on a Friday, and then come Monday when they go to cash it out, Bitcoin dropped by 20%. Could happen. Just drop by 25%. And I'm like, at the closing, you swap it out for a stable coin. So it's now US dollars, or you cash it out right there. Boom. You right there at the closing, you send it to Coinbase, their Coinbase.
Yeah.
And then they turn it into cash, and then they give the homeowner, the home seller, the money. There's no risk. And it's better than a closing with a bank check. It's faster.
There's just less. My gosh, when we closed, it was like everything that we had to sign that was all about regulation, Yeah,
you're probably going to have to sign all of that too, but the payment is just immediate, instant, and done. So,
right.
So again, Remax, Century 21, and a little boutique company that's trying to compete, become the first crypto company.
But now here's the question: before you can make an offer and somebody accepts it, you need to be able to have an escrow an escrow vehicle to be able, because I can show you my Blockfolio app, big freaking deal. No keys, no coins.
Yeah, no. You can wire a crypto deposit to their account, right? You wire it right to the brokerage, and then at the closing, bam, there it is. Oh, guess what? During the closing, it went up 5% or down 5%, whatever. Doesn't matter. You still give them the dollar amount at the closing.
Right.
Done. And then you can immediately lock it into the US dollar. And the homeowner who's like, what the hell is crypto? Don't worry about it. We're getting you your money. They're paying us in crypto. We're paying you in cash.
Exactly.
Okay. And me, whether I'm into crypto or not, if I was selling my home and I say, hey, this place down the road just does it the old way, but this other place, they're willing to take money, regular money or crypto. I'm like, well, that's just a bigger market, faster, better way to sell my house.
Yeah. Somebody needs to figure that out.
It's already figured out. People just have to realize that you can do it and figure it out themselves. I
wonder if we did a search online, if you could find those people who have figured it out, and we could get them on the show. You know what I mean? And just start talking about it. The more we socialize this kind of stuff, the better.
Right. Yeah, I was talking to a friend who's real estate in Florida, said that they don't do it at her brokerage, but she saw some homeowners that were willing to take crypto. Yeah. I'm just saying whether the homeowner's willing to take it or not, the brokerage can just become the middleman, which they are already when you're paying with cash.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, anyone out there in the chat, the Uncle Vigilante at Gmail. If you do some legwork and you can find some real estate folks that are willing to engage in crypto, or any lenders out there in the real estate, then if you let me know and get me some contact information, I will, we'll have a show on that. That's really cool. I mean, imagine over the next 2 years that while all this PulseChain and everything starts going crazy, let's think in cans versus can'ts. What can happen? Well, it can go up by a lot, and a lot of us might be able to afford to upgrade a little. And it would be so cool to already have the pipeline of people, resources to go to when we're looking for our, forever home.
100%. And it's already being done in other countries. So,
right.
And it's also being done here. I just haven't seen who's doing it here. I just heard that they were, and I haven't had time to look into it.
Yep.
But the people that Jeff Berwick recommends for Nicaragua and Belize and the other places, they're like, we take crypto full payment, all different kinds, because I think they don't care as long as they can swap it out for US stablecoin, or maybe they're swapping it out for Monero. Who the hell knows?
Right.
If they want to stay in the crypto market, but it doesn't matter whether the real estate owner is into it or not. Doesn't matter, because they're just holding the crypto for a second and then turning it into cash. By
the way, I'm going to hit it again because I make my living being a biz development guy, and I'm just going to reach out again to Pirate Chain. I need you guys to get your marketing together. Even if you have, what was it? Binance was going to list them. Even if it was Binance, it was going to list them on the exchange. You should be having
maybe no, don't say anything. We don't know any of it. Binance is interested in them. They are still interested in them. We don't know if it's on the table, off the table, or if anything has changed. That's all we know.
Fake it till you make it, man. At least talk about it. Socialize it out there. Just let's get that price back up. Stop this yo-yo.
Just relax, Uncle Odd. Just relax. I mean, how long did you have your IRA that was creeping up by a couple of % a year, right? Now you don't see a couple of % a day, you have a heart attack.
Oh, I'm pissed. Couple %. That's for junior varsity, man. I want 20%. I want it to happen overnight, baby.
You gotta just. I literally try not to look. I don't look at the market, but every day people, did you see this? Did you see that? It's like, don't look, enjoy your life. It's not about the money. It really isn't. It's not about the money, but money, having a few bucks to, what I'm going to do? Do your thing is all good.
I have up until about 4:15. I'm going to drop an invite into the chat for this. And if people want to come in and say hello, that'll be fun. Let's copy link. So if anybody wants to come on in, come join us. Let's have a party. I'll let you in. There is no password. You're just in a waiting room and I'll let you in. So anything you want to talk about, we can talk about for 45 more minutes, ladies and gentlemen, because that's what we do.
The whole real estate thing, it might already be in the works. People,
I'm sure it is, but people, the way you can support this channel is support the research, folks. I don't ever ask for anything, but give me some shit to talk about. Right. Give me some breadcrumbs of people to call.
So the one thing that does people need to take from this, for those of you that are amateurs, most of the amateurs, and by the way, I was an amateur. Everyone's an amateur at some point. Have their money on exchanges. Take it off.
Take it off.
Take it all off. Get an Exodus wallet. Exodus, EXODUS.com. Very simple. Get it. Transfer it there, and then just hold it there. And that way, you will get the mirroring. You will get the airdrop.
Yeah, but it has to be an Ethereum coin,
right?
Base coin.
Something you can get with Ethereum.
But bottom line, just in general. Now, I do find that all of the funky coins that you and Jaron talked me into buying on crypto.com, I've just kind of left those there.
Just leave them.
But that's
they're on crypto.com.
All right.
If you have them in your wallet, add them. If you can fit them in your wallet, add them. What do we got? Oh, Flat Earth Life. Here we go. This guy, this is Mr. Crypto himself. Welcome. Adrian, right?
Yes. Hello, David.
Adrian was in the live chat with me on the
on the PulseChain.
Yeah, on the PulseChain, and I got on, and people were started asking about me, and I got into the whole thing, and I got muted, and then he was defending me, and he got muted, right?
Yes.
But
and
listen,
I'm still muted. I tried to talk later after hours, and I was still muted.
it's probably because the moderator that knew what was going on don't listen. It's Flat Earth is a triggering topic. Let's not come down to those guys. We're big boys. We can handle it. And it's good. So what did we say that was wrong that you want to correct?
I don't know. Right now it went out of my mind. You are pretty.
Hey, Brian, welcome.
There are some technical details. I spent like 40 hours on their audio chat, so I learned a lot, but I still have to learn. The idea is that people that want to go for the sacrifice, they should go, and we should. I don't know, but when somebody comes on the audio chat and he says, "Hello, I'm here for the sacrifice," it's like the entering in a Masonic club.
Adrian,
like,
so what are you gonna do personally as far as sacrificing? Are you gonna sacrifice some stuff?
I'll sacrifice Hex. Yes.
Are you gonna? What percentage of your Hex are you gonna sacrifice? All of it?
All of it, because I have very little. I don't.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, perfect.
I mean, Romania here money is scarcer. Then.
Okay.
So we have one all in. I think I'm going all in.
Well, it depends on how much you have. Like, you wanna hedge it, but if you only have a little bit, boom, go all in.
How about you, Brian? Welcome, Brian Young.
Hey, man, I've been watching your videos the last couple of days. I really appreciate your work, man.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
I watched your Jeff Berwick golf course walk style video as my intro, and it was good. I listened to the whole, I think it was like 49 minutes. I listened to the whole thing while I was working out.
Oh, that's good.
It was good stuff. Good stuff.
Oh, thank you. This is a channel dedicated to newbies, people who don't know shit just like me. Just want to document the journey, and got very lucky along the way that Jeff took note and connected me with Raphael, and so they've been very kind to come on the show. So that's just cool.
Real quick suggestion, man, we're so under the thumb of I don't even want to say it because I don't want to get any algorithms, but the I, letter R, and S, the domestic terror cell. If we could, man, if there was some way we could do some kind of a private seminar, because I wouldn't want to put this stuff out on the internet, and how to escape and protect our crypto and all of our assets from the prying government. I think that would be a really beneficial thing to talk about.
I'll talk to you privately about some easy things that you can do.
All right, cool.
Pirate Dex, it's an app.
What's that?
Pirate Dex and Atomic Dex. Search Atomic Dex is from Komodo, and Pirate Dex is from PulseChain, I guess, together with Komodo. And basically, if you want to wash something, go with your clothes there and wash them.
I'm going to show you guys something. You guys, I don't know, Brian, are you familiar with John J. Singleton?
No.
So John J., I was a big proponent this last year. My original channel, Uncle Odd, was talking about what I call the Druid Babylonian bastards, the controllers out there. And I have an issue to where I can't wear a mask, a literal physical issue. And so it became a thing. Long story tolerable. I'm suing Costco, a 3-count lawsuit. And along the way, I've had just amazing support, guidance, and such from just a great group of people. And one guy that kind of led me down the right path is John J. Singleton. And he's just a real warrior. And he is an anarchist at heart. And let me show you what if you go to aceofcoins.com, let me share this with you.
He's good.
If you go to aceofcoins.com, the bulletproof bank account and tax-free crypto exchanges. Do you have a bulletproof bank account? Do you know how to trade cryptos with zero tax consequences on your gains when taking profits? We now have a written confirmation from the IRS that trading between cryptographic coins is not taxable. Cryptocurrency exchanges are tax-free with the right account. Bulletproof banking also prevents all debt collections, even from the IRS or state agencies, student loans, or any creditor or debt collector. It will also block any wage garnishment without bankruptcy or making any payment plans with creditors. If you aren't banking with this type account, you're a sitting duck for anyone who wants to take money. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I just want to let people know about aceofcoins.com. And if after you read that, you want to reach out to John about this blockchain tax immunity trust, it's a real thing. And I'm a client. So
okay, so you use this service currently?
I use one that is not exactly the same investment vehicle, but one that is a close cousin.
I was saying, are they describing the 575?
It's a little different, but yeah, it's an unincorporated nonprofit association. So his is just a little bit different than ours.
Okay, so you're not using John J. Singleton. This is Ace of Coins is John J. Singleton. Am I understanding that right?
Yeah, but I will 100%, not that my, reputation means shit, but I will 100% back anything and everything John J. does or says, because he is so rock solid.
Well, if your reputation is honesty, it definitely means everything. So, I mean, because there's so many people who are not reputable out there, but I really appreciate you doing this. I've been scratching my head. Everybody's doing their taxes tonight at midnight is when everybody's supposed to have it turned in, and everybody's wringing their hands. And that is not the way to live, man. That is not land of the free, home of the brave to me.
No, it's not. It's not. And
so how long the service that you are with, how long have you been with them? And on a scale of 1 to 100, how happy are you with the service?
I'm still figuring it out. I'm still figuring out how to be able to optimize it, but I am like to the moon happy. It's just like, I'm like in pinch me mode that, I have my, it is a real vehicle. Meaning I can open a bank account with it, so I can on-ramp, off-ramp to exchanges, and I can contribute to it from my W-2 income that becomes tax deductible, and I could actually be paid as a W-9 employee directly to that entity. And it is like a brick wall between, your social security number and the IRS. That's kind of the only way I can say it. I kind of don't want to talk much.
No, I know. That's why I said I, letter R, and ESS. But let's see.
I'm happy to tell you more about it.
All right, awesome, Dave. We got to do a show this week about flat Earth. Okay, so that's a side issue.
After this, let's talk, because we got to schedule it.
If you emailed me, I apologize for missing that email. But back to you. What do I call you, Uncle? Uncle Vigilante?
Uncle V.
Uncle V. Okay, Uncle V. What was it you said your kids called you? What was it? When you were on the golf course smoking your cigar, getting your exercise, you said your nephews called you something. What was it?
They called me Uncle Odd. They couldn't pronunciate pod. So
Uncle Odd. I love that, man. I love that.
They got me a crypto hat, a baseball hat that said Uncle Odd, and so the name stuck. So I am, in my family, I'm Uncle Odd.
That's great, man. One question about that service, just real quick. And I know this is probably a little off in the weeds from what you want to talk about, but how about like if you wanted to make like a lot of people are in the habit of, I know I am because I don't want to think about it. I just do an automatic withdraw to pay my electric bill or insurance or whatever. Does that service offer that as well?
Yes,
absolutely.
So it's a one-stop shop.
I'll explain it to you. I really don't want to talk about it.
Okay, good. All right, I'm done. But I'm so, man, I want to know about this. I want to be freed. I want to be freed from the chains of my oppressors, guys, and I want to pass that information along to everybody. That's why I appreciate you guys so much.
Brian, I'll email you my phone number, and when this ends, if you want to call me, I'm free until 8 o'clock.
Okay, sounds good, David. Thank you.
At the beginning of this program, I teed David up as that guy that always puts me in consternation and makes me uncomfortable because he plants these seeds like, hey, did you hear about this? Or do you know you could do that? And then it's just like stirs me up until I investigate. And then I'm like, wow, you can do that?
Yeah.
Brian, the contact email, right? I've got
yes, contact email. I think I have you on my phone book. I'm trying to look for it, Dave.
Probably should.
Hey, one more real quick question about cryptos and trading cryptos. Yeah. Isn't it unwise to be trading on Binance or Coinbase because they're all tied into that entity that we don't want to talk about?
Well, to get on any of those exchanges, they do require KYC, which is know your customer.
Right.
It is the devil, you know. I mean, I wouldn't worry about that. Frankly, it's like you go do your business over there and get them into an offline cold storage wallet or a hot wallet like Exodus. And you know, they know you have it. But then at that point in time, you can exchange on Trade Ogre for some privacy coins. And then they, in essence, disappear. Damn, I can't believe that I actually lost my coins when I went to that place. I didn't know what I was doing, you know.
In that freaking boating accident, man, that just took everything down to the bottom of the lake.
Yeah, but once you're into those privacy coins, especially ARRR, they're invisible, and it's kind of a miracle. I could send you ARRR, and it magically goes from my pocket to your pocket, and nobody knows.
Yeah, I love it.
But I have a penny. It cost a penny to do that.
It costs 1 penny to do that. Right?
I have the light wallet. Do you guys suggest going with the full node treasure chest or what?
You know what, the full node treasure chest uses like 150 gigabytes of space on your computer, and it's slower. Sure. So they're still safe in the light wallet. I think better wallets are going to come out. I have the light wallet. I'm just sitting with it. I'm not. But the
light wallet crashed when everyone was freaking. Uncle Vigilante was just smoking a cigar, taking a nice walk, saying, "Hey, you guys lost all your coins, eh?"
The light wallet.
He has the full node wallet.
The ARRR pirate chain light wallet crashed.
Yes.
So what it works, how a wallet works. I'm not, for those of you that don't know, maybe you don't, Brian, is it has to update everything that's happened on the blockchain, everything that's happened. And so if you haven't opened up your full node wallet for a couple of weeks, you might turn it on. It might take a half an hour to upload, and it's going to use your computing power, and it's going to just take time. The light wallet, all you're doing is connecting to their server, to their computer that they have that's updating all the time, 24/7.
Right.
And so you're just connecting to it, and already there's the updated copy. Well, that server got overwhelmed or something happened and it went down. Even if their place burned down, doesn't matter, because that's not where your coins are. Your coins are on the blockchain. So if all you'd have to do is download the full node wallet, and then you can get your coins back.
Or you could download the full node wallet in the beginning and say, okay, so it takes 20 minutes to upload to boot up. Who cares?
A lot of people, some people don't have 150 gigs to spare.
And Uncle Vigilante, the wallet. I mean, when you're talking about storing that, like you said on that first video that I saw of yours, it's good to have just a dedicated computer. So when you plug it in, you plug it in to get your stuff, and then you unplug it and you get off as quickly as possible.
I like that idea.
I totally treat it like it's almost a thumb drive. You know, I get on and I get off. I don't screw around with anything. And you should only do it after you have installed Kaspersky and have done a complete scan, because you want to make sure that you've gotten all the shit off your computer. When I did that, when I dedicated mine, I got Kaspersky and they found like 28 malicious viruses on my computer.
Can you spell that?
Yeah, Kaspersky, Kaspersky.
Can I talk a bit on this?
I think it's like $79 a year or something like that.
Go ahead, Adrian.
Okay, firstly, Windows is a crap. You cannot trust it. Whatever you do, you can install 10 antivirus software. In the past, there were antivirus companies that they were spying on the customers. Basically, the antivirus software on itself, it's a spyware software. And Windows on the top of that, it's a spyware software. The best versions will be either to use a Linux version, either to get a dedicated phone, a special one that will install a special operating system. And I'm referring to Google Pixel 3A. It's a very cheap phone. You can find it secondhand for like $150. And you install on it Graphene OS in one word. And this Graphene OS, it's a version of Android, which is completely open source, doesn't contain anything from Google, which is closed source. So no spyware software, no nothing. It's a lot hardened at the security level. And inside it, you can install the wallets, not on the main profile, but on the work profile, which is a virtual machine. And inside the virtual machine, you have to install an app named Shelter. And with that app Shelter, you are freezing the wallets. And this way, basically, you have a much more secure phone. And that Google Pixel 3 has a titanium M chip, which is for encryption. And with that chip, if you put a screen lock password of 4 characters, it will take 650 years to be brute forced. So basically, if you lose the phone, there is no problem. You can have 2 phones. One you leave it at your parents' house, for example, and one you have with you. In case you lose it, there is no problem. All the wallets are also installed on the other phone. And it's better than to have a ledger, because ledger it's founded by basically all the secret services, all the big corporations want to get into the ledger. So why have a device that everybody's trying to hack when you can have a custom setup that nobody else has?
Okay, here's where that where I can break that down. Okay, I'm a dumbass and I'm never going to do that because it is so complicated. It is way over my mask. If I want,
you'll pay a friend to do it if you need it.
Well, and then they say,
"Oh, what if all your friends are dumbasses too?"
You can go on YouTube.
Really dumb question here. So the Ledger is a CIA funded device. How about the Treasure? Is that one good?
I don't. But think how many people want to get into it. Do you still want to have it if everyone tries to get into it? If there are bounties of millions of dollars to hack it, you want that device?
But by the time they get into it, because I'm like,
no. They can take your device and enter in it after 10 years when the technology is discovered to enter in it.
So even if it's unplugged and hidden away, they can still hack it?
No, let's say under some circumstance, they take the device. You do a car crash, they find it. Either they put you in jail for whatever reason and they find it. Either whatever reason possible. And they can keep it for years, basically, and check it. Maybe the technology is now not public now, but it will be next year. Like with the iPhone, there are companies that are paying millions of dollars in order to be able to enter in any new iPhone.
I understand, but I will tell you, and I respect and appreciate that you are smart enough to do that. I'm just saying that
you're not.
At my level, I'm not, and I think rare few people on this channel will be or are. I'm not discounting at all. It's like, I get that that's probably the smart thing to do, but I think we need things accessible here when we're on just that little.
Yes, totally. I just want to throw it out fast there so other people that have the knowledge will later see it.
And I would encourage, if that's a thing, frickin' figure out how to make a YouTube channel to be able to walk people through it so that it's really super simple.
Yeah.
Adrian, you should figure out how to set people up where you send them the phones and you explain how to do it, and then you could have a little back door in there so you can take all their crypto.
No, I cannot do that because I'll have to pay GST for each phone I'm shipping out or something.
You like going in through the outdoor, David?
No, I'm gonna get me some ass. Gotta get some ass. I'm Australian safe shepherd.
Invest in some ass.
I'm gonna invest in some ass.
Yeah. That is a new coin, Brian.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's called Australian Safe Shepherd, and you can buy for $300. You get like 30 billion of them.
After Shibu Inu, I just don't doubt that, man. I don't doubt that at all.
As I was saying earlier, it's worth just having just to say, I bought some ass, or if it turns into millions of dollars, how did you make your millions? Well, I had a lot of ass.
So
a lot of ass.
Brian, are you fairly new to crypto?
I'm so new. It's not even funny, man. I still got the placenta surrounding me. That's how new I am.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the shit show, because it's
Well, you're not that new. You have a light wallet. You bought some pirate chain already, and you moved it over to your light wallet. So
do you realize how many hours it took me to figure out how to do that thing, man? I mean, that's why Uncle Odd. That's why I gravitated toward you, because I'm like, yeah, man. If he's in that, and he seems like a smart guy, and I got half-witted intelligence at least. I know there's got to be millions of us out there that just need to keep it simple, stupid. You know? Totally.
That's why I'm like, I get frustrated with myself because I start to go down these rabbit holes listening to these kind of day traders who are way smarter than me, and they kind of know how to figure out how to get in and out of coins and everything. And then it's like I keep having to ground myself saying, Todd, I mean, this asset class is just like this. It's been like this since it started. It'll continue to be like this. It's really bumpy. It's like a roller coaster. But if you just buy and hold, just get a good portfolio, get a portfolio of top, 10 coins, top 50 maybe, if you want to play around with that. And then you have these fun things that happen that if you have a movement like Shibu, or with this, whatever the fuck we're talking about, this heart, what is it?
Hex?
The Richard Hart PulseChain fork.
Oh, PulseChain.
Yeah, that then becomes something that we can play footsie with. But I think that, most of us are going to do really, really well if we just invest safely and in solid coins, solid projects, and just hold and
yeah.
Then what?
I don't know if you were here earlier. I was saying that I've been into crypto for, I don't know, a bunch of years now, and everything that I've sold, whatever profit I took on it, would be worth tons more if I had just held on.
Yeah,
there's nothing that I bought that wouldn't be worth a fortune right now.
Right. Here's the deal with me. Like, I used to love day trading, but I lost my ass because I got into options and I thought I knew what I was doing, but I definitely didn't know what I was doing. And I've had a major success in day trading Doge and ETC and all this kind of stuff. Like, for example, right now I just day traded Ethereum. I'm already up $150 from its lows, and I'm up about $70 just in the last 2 hours on ETC and just a little bit of Doge. But I agree with what you're saying, Dave, about long-term holding. If I just held on to the Doge that I bought at 3.1 and 3.9 cents. I backed up the truck and I bought $250,000, a little bit over $250,000 Doge. And I sold it 3 days before that thing moonshot to 40 cents. And I'm like, what? Why don't I ever learn my lesson about this kind of stuff? So I totally agree. When I back up the truck, like, for example, I've had a lot of success with Cardano, ADA. I don't know if you guys are in Cardano.
Yeah.
Cardano, I bought it 96, 125, 155. It went up to 176, came down to 155 again. But yeah, I'm a long-term holder. I ain't letting this stuff go. That's why I got to get with you guys, who I know, you guys know way more about this stuff than I do. And I need some security and some shelter.
Your Cardano and other stuff?
I just transferred all my Cardano to Atomic Wallet.
Okay, yeah, you don't want it on an exchange. And all of your Ethereum-based stuff, you need it where you own the private keys.
Right.
Because when the fork comes, you will it'll all be doubled on the new chain.
Now, can you explain that real quick? Are you talking about the PulseChain fork?
Yeah, the PulseChain fork.
And when is that supposed to come? Do you know?
It's
unknown.
It's unknown, but what would be your guess? A month?
No, they said days.
Oh, days.
Yes.
The fork is coming, or the sacrifice period's coming?
There will be two snapshots. One at the beginning, then there will be the sacrifice, and
right.
Be a second one.
But the fork isn't going to happen until after that. But within a few days, they're going to take a snapshot of the entire chain, and anyone that owns an ERC2 token, which Cardano is one, I believe, will get mirrored onto the new chain. So if you have a 500 Cardano or whatever, you'll have 500 Pulse Cardano for free.
Mm-hmm. With the not value for value though, right? You're just going to get
it's going to be worth zero. It's going to be worth zero. Okay, but it's going to go up, and it could, in theory, and if it is what it is, could go high. Everything over there could become more valuable than what's over here.
Right.
So let me get this straight. So as long as all the ERC20 tokens are in a wallet where you own the keys, you will get mirrored on PulseChain. Is that right?
Right, because
if they are in the list.
Okay,
so on
so
the list, right? Yeah, if they're on the list, but like Ethereum's on the list, I believe Cardano will be on the list.
do soft wallets count in that? Like,
as long as you have the keys, like Exodus counts.
Okay,
absolutely. As long as it's not on an exchange, because they hold the keys, because the mirrored coins go to the keys.
Gotcha.
Well, you don't own the keys.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you so much for that. You just cleared that up.
I had a lot of Bitcoin when the Bitcoin fork happened, and I sold a lot of Bitcoin, and I sold my Bitcoin Cash when it went up, and I should have held on to everything.
Hey, Brian, tomorrow night I have one of the smart guys on this fork that's going to be on at 7 p.m. So that might be one that you.
Who is that? Who's it going to be?
His name is Coffee.
Crypto Coffee. Yeah, Crypto Coffee and Motley Investor, I find, are other than Richard Hart, are probably the most knowledgeable about PulseChain / Hex.
Yeah.
And I've been meaning to say this. Anybody that gets into crypto, and whether you believe in it or not, whatever, you're just doing it like, hey, and something moons and there's life-changing money in there, don't sit on it. Take some of it out. Some people say that's poor people mentality. When mine moons to the point where I could take half of it out and buy what I want to buy, I'm going to do that. And then, like if I buy if something goes way up and I buy a house, I'm going to kick myself because, a year later I'll look at my house and I'm like, wow, I'm $20 million in the hole. If I had held on to that, it would be $20 million more. But I'm looking forward to that day. Oops, I lost my headphones.
Yeah. I asked David this question and he pushed out of it. So Brian, I'll ask you the question. So okay. If you care to be candid. So if there was a number, and I don't care what it is, could be 1 million, 10 million, 100 million, I don't know. If there was a number where you would just say, okay, with that, I know I could acquire X, Y, and Z, and the rest of my life, just totally take the weight of the world off of my shoulders. I'm good. Do you have that number?
Do I have time to think about it? Wow. I would have to give that some serious thought. I don't know. Especially with the M2 money supply getting diluted and the Federal Reserve just, so reckless with the reckless abandon, the fiat currency drops from the helicopter. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it's not a number. Maybe it's a situation. My situation is a house where I can grow some food.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The water, paid for, where I have enough money to, be able to feed myself. That's my number.
Yeah. What would make you, just kind of give you serenity, that you would feel like, okay, I've been battling these Druid Babylonian bastards, but now I have.
Here's the thing. Any number, like you can buy a beautiful house in the Carolinas for $250,000, a beautiful house.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and your question was, what will make you happy? I'm already happy.
That's a pushed out question.
Whatever. I'll take it.
I like the answer though. I got to be honest with you, Uncle Odd. I like that answer because I'm already happy. For me, it would be more like, and this sounds like a freaking virtue signal, but for me, it'd be more like when I'm gone, which could be tomorrow or next week or in the next 10 years, that the people that I love in my life would be taken care of, without worrying about the IRS breathing down the throat.
Great point. And that then becomes something, which, by the way, with this investment vehicle,
yeah, Brian, talk to me.
You own nothing, but you control everything. Okay,
I love that.
Now, so this is finally
Klaus
Schwab got it right, but you own nothing, and you're happy because you control everything. But what happens when you get hit by a bus? Then you have a will and testament that basically just shifts the control over that vehicle.
Yeah, no transfer of anything. You just
there's no
transfer, and there's no
tax, no anything.
No inclusion of bureaucratic red tape. None of that. I love it. I love that.
Nothing.
Oh my gosh, man.
Nothing.
You do not know the feeling of camaraderie I have in my heart right now, man. Because all we want to be is free. That's it.
Just leave us the hell alone, please. Let us keep what we earn. You know,
listen, and people say, you know, what happens if they're, you know, we have going to apocalypse, the power goes out, where's your crypto? Well, all of your money's gone anyway. You know, if the power goes out and if it ever comes back on, all the bank's money is gone. Your crypto could still be there. But if the power goes out, money is the least of your problems. Bullets and food are our top priority.
Exactly.
So in this future that we have coming, if we help manifest this proper future, crypto is going to be the answer. It's going to be the way to get, because the people that are running this world, and I call them people with great, you know, with
trepidation,
they're the bankers. They're the bankers. The bankers are the ones that are destroying this entire world. It's all about control, and they control us with money. This eliminates that. They don't like it, and they're going to try to stop it, but I don't know if they can. And
well, we're so early into this, Brian.
Right.
I mean, I participate. I've been part of a group that one of our companies that we launched. I still remember the server room. It was in one room, was Priceline.com. And I think back to those days when we didn't know shit about Web 1.0 in the future, right? I think we're at that same point right now. So even though we all feel like we missed the boat because we weren't investing in Bitcoin at $2, now we're still at the 4-yard line. There's a lot of field to play.
Man, you have got a gift of bringing elements that need to be talked about to the table, to the common man, and that's why I could not help but be on this broadcast with you, man. I really appreciate you doing that. You have no idea.
When Uncle V asked me to do this yesterday, I'm like, both of us know enough to be dangerous. Like we got to go out there because you know, you talk to somebody like Jaronism, he does these lectures. Jaron's really great, but he's been in it so long. Sometimes he'll say things where like, what does that mean? What is that thing? You know, but he's another one that does it kind of like us, but he's a level above us.
Yeah. Well, there's the element of being genuine though. It's like, yeah, look, I understand it's hard. Like you said in that video, Uncle Odd, you're like, look, I know it's hard, but it doesn't have to be. So we're going to figure this thing out together. It's like, yeah, I'm stumbling around in the dark just like you, kind of. Maybe I know a little bit more than you, but I think we can help each other, you know?
Crypto is hard until it's not.
Yeah.
But until you find the right group.
Until you get on the bike and start pedaling and skin a knee or two, you're just not going to learn anything.
Yep.
You can't study this. You can't. I swear to God, if they had a crypto 101 in college, first of all, I'd want my daughter to go to it. But I'm just saying that if it was just theory and if you're not doing and you don't have skin in the game on it and you're not earning and you're not fretting and you're not saying, oh shit, what do I do? My light wallet with treasure in it, it's showing 0 coins. What the fuck? You know, until you go through that and then you are birthed through the you know, into the sunlight to where you're like, oh, it was just a server. Okay. I didn't know that there were servers involved. I thought this was all decentralized. And I thought, you know, you get smarter and you get and you get more comfortable. And then after a while, when people start talking airdrops and, you know, it starts to make a little bit of sense, but not a lot of sense.
I want to point out something. This is a show for beginners. Brian said he doesn't know anything.
I know.
But then he informs us he's got a light wallet. He's already got pirate chain. He's day trading. He's got. I mean, Brian, you're advanced.
Guys, I'm like this. I'm like, give me my cane, shine over there in the corner, and maybe a cup of hot tea. I don't know what I'm doing here. You know, it's like, what's going on?
I want to
like the guy that comes to the poker table. How do you play? 3.
Not like that. Hey, real quick question though. I'm sorry to interrupt, but if you have your crypto on any exchange, including Coinbase, you're excluded from that PulseChain.
Exactly. If you don't have the keys, it's not your money.
Okay, because there's some people that I need to tell about that ASAP.
It's very important something. When you receive those coins, you have to move them in less than 30 days to another account. Otherwise, they will disappear. So
right, I've been meaning to thank you, Adrian.
What
you have to so you get the airdrop of these free coins. If you don't touch them for 30 days, they take them back. Is that correct, Adrian?
Yep.
Okay, so all you have to do is move them to where, like your MetaMask wallet, or
to another address.
or
So basically,
where can you move them to, Adrian?
To another account. Just install another wallet, or you make another account still in MetaMask, but save the key for the second account too.
Okay, let's break this down. Okay, so PulseChain happens. The coins that you have in your wallet are duplicated. If you don't do something in that wallet for 30 days, if there's zero activity for 30 days, you lose whatever those duplicates were. Right?
Exactly.
Duplicated wallets are sitting there, and they want them to be used. So they want you to move them. So here's something that we can guarantee you. After this airdrop happens, Uncle Odd and I will do another show telling everybody that doesn't even know that they got this friggin' airdrop to move their stuff. And we'll give them, and if they don't know where to move it, we'll give them an address to move it to, right, Uncle Odd?
Can that be as simple as moving it from an atomic wallet to MetaMask and vice versa, or what?
From one hand to another hand. You just send it from one address to another address.
Just to change the address, any address, anywhere.
Okay, so you can actually move them. Well, I wouldn't move them to Coinbase because then they'll charge you a fee, right? Just move it from wallet to wallet.
No, 2 wallets. Just have 2 wallets on your phone. Install Trust Wallet, for example. The idea is that everyone will be forced to look into these coins, seeing them there. So basically, it's hard to put everyone in crypto world to know about Hex and PulseChain. But if they end up with the coins, they have to find out what the fuck it's about them.
Adrian, how many people, what percentage of the people that are having their coins, in a wallet somewhere are not going to know and going to lose them after 30 days?
Oh my gosh.
I don't know.
50%?
Maybe somebody that works too much and doesn't have a moment to go on the internet.
I'm gonna put the over under at 50%. I'm gonna take the over. I don't know how we're ever gonna prove
right on that. So we do have to evangelize the shit out of this to protect people.
Yeah.
So when those PulseChains, the PulseChain coin, what's it going to be called? PulseChain? Is that what it's called?
You have a P, a small P before the coin. But in the case of Ethereum will become Pulse on the other side, I think.
Okay.
So I think it will become P-Hex. Ethereum will become P-Hex on the other side.
So if you had no activity in your wallet, where do those coins go? Do they just disappear? Where do they? Who gets them?
Disappear.
Really?
Because basically those coins are offered to you in a parallel blockchain. So basically they are copying the blockchain 1-to-1 and changing the proof of work, which you use miners, to proof of stake. And right now, for the people that don't know, if you stake Hex for 5,555 days, which is 15 years, you will receive 40% interest a year. So basically, every 2.5 years, you receive your investment back and keep receiving.
Jesus.
And in the Pulse realm, the staking will not be under a contract of time. You'll stake because you have it. You use it. You do not stake anymore because you use it, basically.
So that 40%, when you get that every 2 years, that just doesn't auto roll into it, right? You could take that out and invest
you can restake it. I don't have yet experience with staking apps, but the people there are doing the stakes in such a way that every 3 months they have some liquidity in case the market moves and they need to.
What some people do, they do a ladder stake where and I did it where I staked it and I have every year, I have a stake maturing on Christmas or whatever on my birthday. So every year I get more and I get more back. But the stuff I stake shorter doesn't get as much interest. But again, so that's one way. If you, by the way, if you only have a little bit, figure out what the longest you want to stake it for or not, and just do it, because you don't want to do tons of them, because then you have to pay all the gas fees.
What I don't want to be is wealthy on my Blockfolio app. I want to I want to be able to, and I don't want to just give my progeny all of this wealth because I just was looking at my app the whole time. I want to actually have a life.
Right. That's why you ladder it. Hey, Adrian, real quick, and this is an advanced question, but on the Staker app, you can buy a bunch of Hex and then make 15 stakes, one every year for 15 years, and then only send it over as a batch and only pay gas once. Is that true?
I don't know. I've just said I don't have experience with
stake. All right. So I think that's true. So if you're going to do multiple stakes, you have to look into the Staker app. And
exactly.
The amount of the gas fee is going to be basically irrelevant when PulseChain comes online, right?
Right.
So on the other side, yes, but if you stake Hex, you stake it through the Ethereum blockchain.
Yeah, you're still on the Ethereum side. So when people start going over there and like, hey, gas is free. Look, gas is free over here. Gas is Ethereum levels over here. Where's everyone going? They're going over here.
Yeah.
Right? And if that happens, everybody that took their airdrop, maybe sacrificed a little bit, got the huge return to one, is going to be very, very, very happy.
Hey, David, can you explain real quick the sacrifice? Because I'm not sure I understand that. Why would somebody want to sacrifice what they have? It's not gelling in my mind.
So when you sacrifice, basically you're taking, like, say I'm going to sacrifice one ETH. That's $3,500. They already gave me one Pulse ETH over there, but that was for free, so it doesn't really matter. But I'm going to sacrifice $3,500. Well, they're going to give me, how many Pulse ETHs are going to give me? Maybe 10,000 to 1, maybe only 100 to 1, but the number they're throwing around is 10,000 to 1. So that's 35 million shares. Well, now it only has to go up a couple of pennies to be worth that, and maybe it goes up a couple of dollars, or maybe it goes up a couple of $100. We're talking huge potential here. So the reason you sacrifice it is because they're giving you it has to do with the is it the SEC or whatever, where they can't promise you anything. Basically,
right.
You sacrifice it, you get guaranteed nothing, and you just hope that they're going to give you something in return, which they most likely will, and then it just goes up from there. That's the plan. Adrian.
Okay, I've lost my idea. Sorry. Go.
Oh,
I've lost my idea.
All right. Does that make sense?
No, but I understand it just a little bit more now. So basically, your risk is basically 100%, because even if you give away, let's say you sacrifice one Ethereum trading at 3401 right now. If you sacrifice $3,400, you're going to be given, to say 10,000 PulseChain, but those 10,000 PulseChain aren't worth anything right now, right?
Maybe the day it goes live, they're worth 5 cents.
Yeah, but you're sacrificing a definite for a maybe, and that's why it's called a sacrifice, right?
100%.
That's correct. That's correct.
God, that's scary, man. That is, no matter how you look at it, that's scary.
It's scary as crap, but if you do it like, hey, I'm willing to do this. I put money into Hex before I even knew what Hex was, and every show I watched said Richard Hart is a scam artist, and
I've seen it
complete. And I put it in anyway.
Yeah,
I'm happy.
Definitely don't wanna. Personally, I think I'm gonna probably do 25% of my ETH.
Yeah, that's good, because it's not going to destroy you.
No,
lose it, but that's still
that's highly leverageable.
Yeah.
And the other thing that oh shoot, I had a point I was going to make earlier. It'll come back to me. You guys can continue, because it's really
okay. So now that we kind of understand what sacrificing is, how does one do it? How do you take that one ETH in your MetaMask?
Before I lose it again, that is a great point. And it ties into my point that if you have people that you're talking about with this, the number one thing that you have to do, just imagine this: when all of a sudden people that sacrifice address goes out to, because what will happen is we'll all get the sacrifice address to be able to send it in. Okay. Now, how they track it, that it came from me and all of that stuff, I'm unclear, but there's going to be 423,000 scammers out there that are going to fake like they're Richard Hart, and they're going to
give you an address to send it to. You need to confirm. You need to go to Richard Hart's Instagram, into his regular YouTube account, to all the places he goes, and then take the address there and cross-check it from 3 different places.
Yeah,
I mean, you can totally do it. There's going to be so many scams out there, and there will be people that send their money and they lose it all.
And look, here's what we'll do, David. We'll do that for everybody. We'll do it on air. We'll go and we'll look at
We'll do it on air. We'll show them. But if we gave you an address, you're an idiot. Don't look at our address.
We're just
this is the address we're using, and this is how we did it. And now go verify it yourself.
We're just going to compare it, and we got to have Taryn do the fake YouTube so that we can put our personal ETH addresses in, and we'll split it.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the answer to the question. So that's the answer to the question. How you sacrifice it is you're going to be provided with. Everybody gets the same address. Is that?
Well,
and everybody's money goes.
Yes.
Wait a second. Can I talk? Firstly, it will be 30 days of sacrifice, but it will be a bounding curve. The first 3 days, they will be at a flat entrance rate. So basically, it doesn't matter when you enter in the first 3 days, you will be at the same point with the rest of the people. After that, the bounding curve goes upwards. So the later you
4.5%
enter,
a day.
Exactly, 4.2% a day. So basically, you have to do it in the first 3 days. And I think Richard said that one of the those 3 days it will be Sunday because the fees on the Ethereum blockchain are smaller than. So you have to
earlier,
you have to have open Guess Now website. Basically, check the grid of fees, have your MetaMask, and go.
So you do this through MetaMask.
Yes, you can do it through MetaMask.
Okay.
So that's the only way. That's the only gateway. MetaMask is the only gateway through which you can sacrifice.
Can you sacrifice from your ledger? You can sacrifice from anywhere, right? Just send it from whatever wallet you're using, correct?
Mostly yes, but basically everyone there was saying MetaMask, but mostly yes. Basically, you'll receive your tokens in any wallet, but I don't know exactly. I don't want to answer to this.
We'll confirm that. But
so just so I'm clear, there is just one address. Sorry, there is just one address.
Yes,
it will be announced.
There's one address.
Hex.com and PulseChain.com. Note these two addresses. They are their websites. You can check them out directly from the source. Hex.com and PulseChain.com, and also the Telegram group PulseChain.com. And if you go in right now on PulseChain.com, there is no website. If you go on Hex.com, you click on menu, you have an extended menu there, and you click on links. You'll find like 10 Telegram groups from PulseChain and Hex on different chapters. If you want to talk taxes, if you want to talk other aspects of it, you have everything there. And there is also documentation. And in this case, you really have to read because it's not just a cheat when you take some and you put it in your wallet. You have to actually know what it's about because basically it's like a parallel universe. It's like you didn't have the chance with Bitcoin, you didn't have the chance with Ethereum. Now you can jump through the wall in the other universe and play with it.
Right. So this is like getting in on Ethereum at day one or before day one.
Yeah.
And so Richard will announce when the sacrifice period comes, and it's not like you have to do it immediately, Brian. He's giving us 3 days where everyone that goes in within that 3 days gets the same playing field.
Okay.
All right. That way nobody can front run you. And there might be a surge right at the beginning where gas fees shoot through the roof. It depends on how many people are into this. We're not sure how many people are even going to know about it until it starts happening. Then they're going to jump in on day 15, where it's, it's down several levels already. So it might, you got to look at it. If the gas fees are really high and you're only putting in a little bit, you might want to wait. You might want to wait a day, or go 2 o'clock in the morning or whatever, until when the gas fees are lower.
I gotta play devil's advocate here then. Okay. So if, so you got potentially millions of people who are going to be sacrificing their Ethereum to this one address.
Yeah, crazy, right?
It sounds freaking scammy, man.
It just
like
scammy.
if you were going to look at this from the other end, it's like, hey, I want to be the guy who sets up that wall. Here,
Brian,
just send it to me. So what's the safeguard? How do we know that this guy's not going to abscond with all this?
We're going to give the safeguard right now. Do not sacrifice anything to any of this. Do not do anything that we've said today, but we're going to do it.
That's a good.
No, I mean that's good. That's a good thought, and that's going to safeguard other people from listening to yahoos like us. But
it's safe for the others to buy after it's on the chart, so it inflates our bag.
Yeah, just when here's the thing: we're gonna with great risk comes great profits. Okay?
Yeah, hey,
Brian, what Spider-Man said. So,
Brian, here on Crypto Coffee, we played at the beginning of the program how to get PulseChain airdrop. He goes into and he talks about what if whoever you send it to is, they just spend it or they whatever. And he goes into that.
Okay.
going to be on tomorrow night, so we'll have a good conversation about it. But there are good answers to your very valid questions, but there is inherently risk built into this. But when you take a look and you listen to this, Richard, what's his channel? Is it Richard Hart?
Yeah. Richard Hart.
Yeah.
When you look at his video he just did yesterday, you totally just, he's new, but I mean, he's proven. So this is new, but it is not his first, right?
The idea is people that invested in Hex, they got a 600% return or something like this in a year.
No, it's like a
1,200%.
1,200.
sorry, 12,000%.
Thousand, not
right, 12,000%.
12,000%. That's a shit ton of money.
Uncle Odd, the video you're referring to is called "The Biggest Airdrop in History of Ethereum Fork" from Richard Hart. Is that the one?
Yep. Yeah. Now, he does these casual interviews where he's just talking to people in the chat and keeping it real. So it's an interesting one. He does these epic streams. Sometimes they go 6 hours. I love watching them live so I can comment, but I like watching them afterwards so I can listen to them at double time.
And he is a real guy. He actually answered on Telegram, which I didn't expect that one.
That's awesome.
No, he's out there.
Brian, by the way, I want to say that you got me through so many just really, really dark times over the last year, just listening to the great work that you've done. And prior to all of the censorship and everything, but you have been doing yeoman's work. So I'm curious, what are you up to now? I, on purpose with intent, when I started getting into crypto at the beginning of the year, I went cold turkey on everything else because it was starting to just suck the life out of me. And I'm really glad I pivoted. But I'm sure you're right there in the middle of the battle still. What are you up to these days?
Oh, man, I want to see my community free. I want to see my family free. I want to see my world free. And I'm sick of tyranny. I can't stand it. So every waking moment I have, I'm studying on how can we just live a free life? So that's basically the tenor of all my videos, all the content that I do. That's the reason I'm on social media. I got my start back in 2008 and 2012. I became a delegate to the Ron Paul campaign in Oklahoma. And when I read some of Ron Paul's books, Francis Bastiat and Lysander Spooner, I was hooked. I was like, man, I don't need these guys to tell me that. I'm glad they're there and they're good teachers, but you can look in your own life. I don't want to be harmed. I don't want to be threatened. I don't want my family to be harmed and threatened. Everybody objectively knows this. So why are we putting up with the government like we're doing? So that's what I have going is what I always have going. I just want to make sure that we blow the whistle on mainstream media, which is there to distract, deceive, divide, demoralize, and conquer us, which they're in bed with the CIA. We know back in the early 1970s with the Church Committee, the CIA infiltrated them a long time ago. So what we have is governed media, and I want to open people's eyes to it. That's what I'm about, and that's what I want to do.
Where do you think this next year is going to head? Do you think that we will experience, all of us, a mask-free 2021 at any point?
A mask-free? Is that what you said?
Yeah. Do you think that there's going to be enough pressure? Because there's starting to be some governors right now that, even though the orders are bullshit, but they are starting to pivot. And so
I don't know. You know what confuses me? I always talk about psychological operations. I know there's psychological operations working on me, and propaganda is just so freaking powerful. What doesn't make sense to me is why an Anthony Fauci gets up there and hails how great and what a savior. Oh, what a friend we have in vaccines. All our hopes and dreams fulfilled, and he's still wearing 3 freaking masks. It seems like if you're going to be a good vaccine salesman, you would have ditched the masks. I don't understand some of this stuff. Why is Biden getting up there during a Zoom call wearing a freaking mask when nobody else is there but him and the cameraman and some Secret Service men? So I don't get it. It seems like if Pfizer really wanted to sell this to us, wouldn't you drop the mask and say, look how free I am and you can be too? So I don't know. I don't know if we're going to be mask free, to answer your question.
Movie theater, it's I really love the I'm sure you're familiar with the NPC theory. Have you gone down that rabbit hole?
NPC theory, what's that?
So NPC theory, and I subscribe to it 100%, is that, in a video game, when you're playing, you're the playing character.
Oh, the non-playable characters. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So the non-playable characters. So it's, basically, I think, numbers, about 95% of this world, the people we interact with out there, are non-player characters, that they are just programmed by the media, and whatever is programmed, that's what sticks. And so they're good people. They're real people. I don't think this is a video game, but they behave like it is. So that just takes the pressure off of me, knowing that, hey, in that video game, when I see two ladies walk across the street who are talking and having a good time, I know there's a bad guy coming down the street that's going to shoot them potentially. So if I go up to my television screen or computer screen and yell at them to move, get in, hurry, bad guy's coming, I'm not going to be able to argue them into safety. So that's kind of how I feel right now, is that no matter, I'm a playing character. I get it, but I know I cannot go up to someone in Publix shopping and have a conversation as to, hey, you know, you don't have to wear that in here. I haven't worn one from day one. You know, they don't, it's not required. I'm never going to be able to argue them because they're an NPC. And I say that with love. But
no, that was well said, man. And, you know, in a sense, there's a lot of freedom in that.
There is a ton of freedom in that.
Yeah. Because then, yeah, because you don't feel stressed to coerce and cajole them and bring them over to your side. It's like, that's the way the program was written, and I'm just playing my part, you know?
You know, this weekend, what came to me was the notion of a rock and a river. And in this last year, I have been a rock, and I have just resisted everything. But when this NPC, you know, took root and I started really thinking about it, I literally, almost like a mantra, is tell myself to be the river, not the rock. Just go around the masked ones.
Yep. I like that. Somebody told me one time, he goes, Brian, I'm a man of fixed and unbending principles. The first of which is to be flexible at all times.
I love that. Your memory, by the way, is just sick. You come up with this stuff off the top of your head and just spew it. And I'm like, how, you know, you're definitely a playing character. Yeah.
Man, guys, I enjoyed this conversation. I got to get back to work, but thank you so much for the invite. It's meant so much, man. It's meant a lot. I've learned a lot from you guys.
This has been great, and we'll have to do it again. So yeah, keep watching, and I'll keep walking and smoking and talking about a whole lot of nothing. But it's nice to walk with you now.
I will. Hey, Uncle. What do you really want me to call you that, Uncle Odd? What do you want me to call you?
Like Uncle Vigilante, just because I pivoted to
Uncle V.
How about Vig? It's the Vig. We're going to talk to the Vig today.
Oh,
Now, what I'd like to do, I'd like to have you on a live stream, maybe sometime in the next month, whenever you can clear your schedule, if you're interested.
I'd be happy to. I'll pull a when I reached out to Raphael, who's a crypto vigilante. I'll never forget. I was thinking the same thing. I was like, yeah, maybe I can get him on within the next month. And I reached out to him. He's like, yeah, man, I'm good in 2 hours. Can we live stream? Sure.
It's like, no, wait, I'm not ready. All right, guys. Hey, I appreciate you. I'm out of here.
It was a pleasure.
Okay. See you, Brian. Cheers. Bye-bye. Okay, guys. All right. It is 4:30.
All right, you want to wrap it up?
I am past the 4:30 Zoom call, so I'm late already. So yeah, well, let's wrap it up. And thanks, man. This was fun, David. And Adrian, I really appreciate you chiming in.
Yes, very nice to be here. I'll come back again.
Yeah, we'll do it again, and definitely after this happens, we'll do kind of an emergency one of these after we kind of figure out. It's nice. I think it's so smart they're doing the 3 days, so we all don't feel on pins and needles that we're going to miss out on something or fuck something up.
Exactly.
So here's my takeaway. Somebody that's watching this.
Yeah.
I'm having a little. You guys hear me all right? My internet's crapping out.
You're great.
So somebody that's watching this that's been thinking about getting into crypto and hasn't done it yet, but like, hey, I'm going to do it. I think now is a beautiful opportunity to buy some ETH, get a wallet, an Exodus wallet, and hold on to it, and then wait for this fork to happen, and then maybe sacrifice half of your ETH, whatever you got. And then you're in crypto in a big way early, and then if you don't touch it for 5 years, it could be really worth something.
That's a good point. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So this is an opportunity that I don't think there's ever been a bigger opportunity in crypto. And and for years, I've been following Jeff for 10 years. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I missed it. I missed it.
Yes.
Damn, I missed that. Damn, I missed that. Damn, I missed that. I missed everything. And I'm like, wait a minute. There's something new every time. I had no idea that this was coming. Okay. Now, again, there's no guarantees. This could turn out to be a complete, who knows what's going to happen? Who knows?
Maybe it's the next Dodge, maybe it's the next.
But you know what I think this is? The way I view this is there's a difference between being on the bleeding edge and the leading edge. I think if you would have had this conversation, even 2 years ago or 3 years ago with this Richard Hart guy and the notion of an airdrop and all of this, that would be really bleeding edge. And it may have worked out great. But since he's done it before with Hex, now you're on leading edge. You're right there before everybody else knows about it. So you can literally be one of those guys that didn't get into Bitcoin at $2, but maybe you got in at 1,000. Maybe that's where
I want to add to this thing. I see crypto like that game with like 5 chairs and 6 people.
Right.
Right now, there is 1% of the people involved in crypto and 99 not. So it's 1 chair, 99 people on the same chair.
Wait.
Wait. I think that there's 99 chairs and there's only 2 people. All these chairs are empty.
That's how I was looking at it.
And you got to look at it like I went to a restaurant the other night. They had a band playing, and everyone that came up to us to talk to us, I would ask them a question, ask them 2 questions. One, do you know what cryptocurrency is? And either they knew what it was, but didn't know anything about it, weren't in it. Very few of them were in it. So it's like so early. And the other question was, are you vaccinated and can I stick a magnet to your arm?
Oh, that's beautiful. All right, guys, I got to scoot, but great talking with you. Appreciate it. David, tomorrow, if you're open at 7,